Warning, it is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language.
Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson. We'll be joined later by Captain Jerkbeard, Tom Lavelle, and our guest today is the one and the only Mike Podcasy. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working B Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can continue to bring this incredible content to you twice a week for the rest of our lives. Jalen Dub, forever. Are you ready to get this thing going?
He is.
He is, we is, I am, you are. Let's freaking do this. This is the work.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about our guest today, old Mike Podcasy, aka Mike Pods, aka Pods, aka Mikey Pods. All right, so me and old shit-eating grin Mike Podcasy here met a number of years ago. If you haven't guessed, he is the better looking, smarter, stronger, more athletic, younger brother of our co-host on the Weekend Poppin', the one and only Burn Podcasty. Yeah, I know. Surprised, Justin?
Wow, it's such a common last name. You know, I thought maybe.
yeah.
I thought Burn's last name was like a show name when I first I saw it in an email.
Thought it was a stage name.
Ooh, I'm all podcasty now. With it. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's like, look at you, Mr. Big Shot, all podcasty.
Yeah, I burn podcasty all the time. Yeah,
and I do podcast.
Yeah. Honestly, I think. I think I mean, maybe it was a match made in heaven. Who knew?
And it turns out there's more of them.
Several more, and he is the last of those three brothers, and he's the last
of my father.
He's the last one to be a guest on the illustrious Working Perspectives podcast, which is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives podcast. But yeah, his brother Benoit Podcasy, our co-host on the Weekend Poppin', was on when we launched on January 5th of 2021. We launched 3 episodes the first day, and he was one of those 3 episodes. So he was considered one of the first ones since we launched 3, right? And then his brother Polatsky, I think his aired in February of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. He either recorded it in February 21 or it aired in February 21, right?
Okay.
And he was on the show eons ago, right? He's since been back to do the 44 roundtable and all that good stuff. But I'll tell you, we really scored big with old Mikey Pods. And he's had his best friend, and I believe the best man at his wedding, the Big Thrill Nick Gill, aka the Sword of the Morning, was also on the show. I know you're a big Sword of the Morning guy, J-Dub. Big fan of the Sword of the Morning. Oh, dude. What's not to love about the Big Thrill Nick Gill? He really probably is. He might be the most likable human on the planet. It's really tough not to like the guy. you know. But so my first meeting of old Mikey Two Shoes here, I was a big, I was a big car bomb guy for a while. Car bombs were my jam, big time, my jammy jam. And, you know, one time, Byrne used to have this house on Martin Street in Manioc, and there was some times where I would just carry around like the car bomb ingredients, which would be whiskey, Bailey's, and Guinness, right?
Yeah.
They would have
that Bailey's refrigerated.
Yeah, well, in the wintertime, you know.
Oh, in the wintertime, it's a beautiful thing. Everything's ready to go.
Sure. You can keep everything outside in your races.
It's a classy move rolling around with all three. I have everything.
Yeah. All they needed was to provide the glassware, which, to be honest, if you went into like we all were, I mean, what would you consider them? Party houses, right? You can just call them that. We all lived in party houses. You couldn't find silverware to save your life, but plenty of pint glasses and shot glasses to be had for all, right? I would say, at least my experience.
Oh, when I lived in Manioc, I would walk home with a drink almost every night.
Yeah. I worked at a bar and I stocked our whole kitchen with everything. Like the first week I moved in, I grabbed like silverware for 7 and like, you know, 8 pint glasses and like just everything. It was great. So either way, I'm down there hanging out with Byrne, and I've known him for a while, and we've been buddies, and he's like, yo, you got to meet my brother and his state championship basketball team. All right. So I was like,
that's
whoa.
A great Byrne impression.
Oh, probably. I mean, did you think he had signed on? It was that good.
Like, oh, Byrne's here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
For those listening, that was me. It wasn't Byrne, just to let you know. But either way.
I'm Ben Podcasy.
Yeah, I'm Ben. I'm Ben Podcasy.
I'm not on the show. I'm not on the 40-foot round table.
He's my brother. He's one of my best friends. I had the 40-foot round table with pretty much everyone I grew up with, but I don't show up. All right. I stay home and I take care of my 5 kids.
And I sound
my 2 kids.
Exactly like this.
Yeah. If you don't know it's not me, then you're nuts. All right. So either way, Byrne was like, come over here, meet my brother, the state champion. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up? So I meet him. And then initially it's car bomb time. Right. And I'll tell you, car bombs they're at first, you got to ease into those bad boys. Ease on in. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Justin, I think you were there the one time, St. Patrick's Day, I did 14 car bombs in one day. And like,
get you.
Oh man, I was just beyond myself gone and just, you know, threw up all over my everything. And I think
it's a spacing issue as well.
Yes.
Not only the alcohol consumption, it's not like Guinness is a light beer.
No.
That's a the old Irish milkshake there.
Oh, baby. +2, when you start early, it's a long day. It's
a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll that Irish that Catholic concrete.
Oh, baby. Yeah, that stuff doesn't sit well either. You know what I'm saying? So I'll tell you this, man. I've known Mike for a long time, and it's crazy how many times, like, people I've known, and you'll hear this on the show, but people I've known like cross paths with Mike, and we've intersected and been like, whoa, hey, you know this guy and you know this guy kind of thing. And like just down the road, he's always been a good dude, always super cool with me, always loved hanging out with him, partying with him. And I'll tell you this, Justin, and I think you would agree. I feel like we just have like we all fit in with these Northeastern PA guys. You know what I mean? Like us and those sons of coal miners, we all got jibs. And I think all our jibs we got good jibs. You like the cut of that jib. You know what I mean?
This fictional valley that exists somewhere far away. I had no idea when they brought up 40-foot. I thought it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes away from somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
You know? It's like, no, it's like up by Spring. I'm like, where? The paper place from the office?
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's near the paper place from the office, but you know, they don't like, I'll tell you this, they don't like that. They don't like to be told, oh, you're from Wilkes-Barre, 44? You must be from Scranton. No, 2 different places, and they take offense to that. Found that out the hard way. Yeah, they're in the valley, the Wyoming Valley of Pennsylvania.
Valley of the Lord.
Yeah, could be. So tickled pink when he decided to come on this show, and I'll tell you, just another feather in our cap of great guests that we've gotten on the show, man. I'll tell you, I mean, you have to think, right? Like we are just like, I don't know. We're just killing it when it comes to the guest, right? Like every week, it's just so good, so nice. And I said this before and I'll say it again. I categorize how great the show is by the level of guests that we do have. And I mean, I just can't thank everyone enough that's been on the show. But I'll tell you, this one's going to be a good one. And I'm excited to get this guest here. So, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on. But before we get started, I would just like to ask, which movie do you think is better? The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
I'm going 1.
Oh, you
smart man.
Fucker. You son
Smart
of a
much
bitch.
Better movie.
You
fantastic.
No.
Sonny Corleone is just a star, and it's fantastic.
James Caan is a fucking star. All right, Jimmy
What
Caan
they did to my boy,
Jimmy fucking Caan, dude. When he beats the shit out of Carlo the first time, the best.
Carlo. Bites his fingers, yo. I love
it. Oh, the best, dude. Also, when they're at the table. And he's like, I want to talk, like, I don't know. And he's like, we don't talk business at the table. And Carlo's just like, well, I'm a little bitch, aren't I?
Sure.
And then they fucking garrote Carlo in the car, leave the gun,
Carlo.
take the cannolis. That's Carlo, right? Or no, that's not Carlo.
Nah, that wasn't killed Carlo.
No, that wasn't Carlo. That was someone else.
What?
But dude,
All right, so here's my reasoning for that.
Oh,
my
please,
reasoning is because, all right, are we saying 1 is much better than 2 or is 2 much better than 1? It's apples and oranges. We're talking like if one's 98%, one's 98.5%.
Yeah, it's a thin line. You love both, but one just edges out. I see.
So I gotta go 1 just because if 1 was terrible, there wouldn't be it. Like 1 had to be so good, and then 2 matched it, maybe even outperformed it. But to start it, it had to be amazing. Also, like the first 50 minutes is a wedding scene, which is hilarious. Like when does that happen? Like they're like in no rush at all to do anything. Like so.
Rossi's practicing.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and you meet Justin's favorite character of all time, Luca Brasi.
Right?
He is.
And then as somebody named Michael, I just think the first one. I mean, it's just constant. Every other word out of everybody's mouth is Michael.
The pain in the old man's eyes when he finds out it was Michael.
That Michael
never wanted.
Yeah. There's so many dramatic, like Michael.
It's so good.
Oh, Mike. Oh,
I never wanted this for you, Senator.
That's why I would go with 1. But I think, like I said, it's barely. I would say it's a toss up.
Yeah,
smart. Yeah, you're very smart and very intelligent, and you're very handsome. I'm so proud of you.
Wow, thanks, jdub. Right back at you. Match jerseys, pretty cool.
Yeah, we open here. Yeah, that nonsensical fucking Celtics jersey.
He's got a Paul Pierce, I believe. Is that right?
That's the truth. Yes, that is the truth.
The truth.
Nice. What about Cheetos? Crunchy or puff there, Machaim?
Crunchy.
Yeah, duh.
It's gotta be.
Everyone's crunchy.
No one's ever batted 1,000, Justin, on the questions.
No.
Right?
No one's ever fully agreed with me.
Yeah, no one's ever fully agreed with you. They might say 1, but no one says puffed in 1. You might be the only person alive that likes 1 and is also a puff.
Well, do we have any more? Did we have one more?
Oh, this is a very highly debated topic.
Ooh, all right.
Very highly debated.
I'm excited too. I don't know.
Drums or flats?
Oh, yeah.
On your wings. Oh my
Correct
god.
answer.
Oh my god.
It's gotta be.
Dude,
sophisticated.
No.
Here's what you do with the flat though. This is when you pop that joint, you get two, and you can just one. It's like it's the same thing as the drumsticks. You make your own.
It's legit. It's just mush in there. There's not like a soggy flat. Legit is like chewing gum. It is disgusting.
I'm assuming both wings are professionally wonderfully cooked. Then a soggy anything wing wise.
I mean, you can live with a soggy drum. You can live with. It's not great, but at least it's not a flat.
What about that drum that you get and the top is just all collagen and like all like you know what I'm talking about?
Both ends of the flat are all cartilage.
No, but you pop. This is what I'm saying. You pop the cartilage and then you open it up and then the meat stays and then you drum it as if it was a drum.
Have you seen the lollipops that they do with the wings?
is a new little thing, and I have
Yeah.
not had that, and it does kind of
Bro,
Have you seen that? They like
they cut it can only be done. It can only be done with a drumstick. Let's get that out there.
I actually leaned in.
It's also like a
closer.
full chicken leg. It's
It's
not
like,
like
wait,
a wing.
And you get a chicken, you get the drumstick, you cut like the top part and you press it down so it's just bone showing on the bottom, and it makes like a lollipop. And people like will wrap them in bacon and
Do
stuff.
they do it from they do it from the top down, or I thought they did it from the bottom up?
Yeah, from the ankle up, I believe.
Yeah, like they take the bottom, shove it up so that it's a bare bone for about like an inch or two.
Oh, dude. And
Listen,
you just
I
one
mean,
hand also.
I'd like to apologize to you and your listeners that I don't know about this chicken wing technology.
It's just
I feel very embarrassed, and that
yeah.
might change, but I haven't had it.
I mean, it's fresh in the game. To be
Have you had it, Matt?
Thank you.
I haven't had it, but I've seen
Yeah, I
it.
haven't had it either.
I've only
just-
seen
yeah.
it.
Just
I've
found
seen
out
it
it
in
existed.
dreams is where I've seen it. Yeah. In my dreams. I've seen this chicken stick, the chicken wing lollipop. Which,
Calls to me like the ocean.
Man. Sure does. Sure does. So, all right. Well, let's get it started. So, Mechayim here, aka Mike, aka Pod. He was born and raised like his brothers in 40 Fort, PA, land of the free, home of the brave adjacent. He did 12 years of Catholic education. And then we're going to talk about this. So I went to a Catholic school, but I went to what would be considered a larger Catholic school, grade school. We'll say a larger Catholic grade school. Like I had I think a little over 100 kids in my grade school class. Right. But how many kids did you have in your elementary school class, Justin?
I have no idea. I mean, we had 3, probably. I mean, we probably only had 100 too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like ours, but yours ended at 6th grade. Ours ended at 8th
in
grade.
a single grade, right? Not like in the whole school.
Yeah. Oh no, the whole school was like 900 or something.
Because I want to say, we had like 3. We would have 3 teachers per grade, and there was like 30 kids a class.
Yeah, that was around. Ours was like 34 or something a class. 30. Yeah, I think so. But so we had just a smidge over 100 in a grade, right? Mike, I think what'd you have 100 in the school, Mike? How many kids?
I was gonna say if you told me we had 25 in each class, I would be shocked.
Wow.
So you get to know everybody.
Yeah.
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 I went to school from like kindergarten to 5th grade. I would say with the same 18 people the entire time.
And did you just dominate dodgeball your entire life? Like,
we played this. All right, circle dodgeball was what we played, right?
Right.
So Indian style in a circle, 3 in the middle, and everybody just whipped balls at you. So you had to dodge 360 degrees. It was awesome.
Wow. Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back to this. This sounds okay. We got a circle. The class. Okay, so the class sits. They're sitting down Indian style on the perimeter, so they don't get the same amount of throwing from seated position.
Gym teacher, if your butt lifted off, it didn't count. You had to stay back. So it was all arm strength.
Wow.
Yeah. Catch your
Wow, you're preparing some assassin.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
3 people in the middle had to dodge, and I think they would go with like 4 to 5 balls. So if you hit somebody, you would just go in for them, and they would come out and sit in. You.
Cool.
But it never stopped.
Nice. And red kickball style.
Yes.
And you're diving to get the ball, like you're fighting other people. Like, give me that fucking, you know what I mean?
And that was the thing. You would like want to sit next to like 2 people who didn't want to play, so you could lean over and get it as it was.
Be like, around. All right, you can stay there, Sally. All right. Yeah.
What happens if you catch the ball as an inside man?
If you catch it, you would just chuck it and you can stay in. Yeah.
You can't if you couldn't catch it and hold it to like block or no.
No, you had to catch it and then like usually just chuck it somewhere.
Yeah.
But it had to stay in the circle.
Throw it at the teacher. Yeah.
But
nice.
There was this crazy rule though that we figured out that you could, as a thrower, bounce it. So like it didn't have to stay in the air. So you would try to short hop people off their shins or whatever. So yeah, it was crazy.
It could hit the ground, and if it hit you, wow,
it was on.
That is a game changer.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I would like to see that. I would like to see kids some kids that know how to play that game go at it, or adults, because that would be fucking awesome.
I'm telling you, it was like. The other stuff we did was never like Presidential Fitness Club was the worst, but Circle Dodgeball was absolutely the best.
Yeah. What is Presidential Fitness Club?
Did you guys have to do that where like you had to like run a mile?
Yeah, you gotta
or you had to
stretch
like
over the box.
Oh,
de-stretch
yeah,
and like the pull-ups and whatever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to do the sit-ups in a minute and stuff and all.
If
yeah.
you couldn't do a pull-up, they would let you hang there
Yeah.
in shame, and everyone would just stare at you for 30 seconds.
It was like
could
every
do a pull-up.
10 seconds counted as like one pull-up or something like that.
And
Yeah.
did you have a rope climb?
We did not. The ceiling in our cafeteria was like, I'd say 11 feet. So I don't think that would work.
Did you
We had
guys do a rope climb, Justin?
Yeah. So we had in my head, it was 100 feet tall because we had a
Sure.
big gym.
Yeah.
And it went into a drop ceiling, and up there was a note on the ceiling, and you could only read it if you climbed up there. And until like I think fifth, or I think it might have been sixth grade, until I could finally climb up there, because I could never get the good feet wrap. Once you figure that out, it's not that hard. But I would try just to all arm it because I couldn't figure out the foot thing. And finally, till like sixth grade, I climbed up there, and it just said like, "Congratulations, you did it." And I was like, "Get the fuck out."
Come on, yeah.
I was all mad. I thought I was gonna say, like, I didn't know what it was gonna say, but like it
You're
did live
excited.
up.
Yeah.
Some like really philosophical saying or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
crazy.
You're
Yeah.
like, you're
Mastered your
now
destiny.
a man. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
told me the day I was gonna die. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just climbed back down. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It didn't say the year, just the date. So every June 17th, I live in fear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty great. So, okay, let's keep it moving. So not only you're going to school, right? Listen to this, jdub. Listen to this guy. He did a little bit of Little League baseball, right? What happened? I want to hear this story about the intentional walk kid crying. What was going on here? Little League
All right.
baseball.
All right. So I'm 12. It's our championship game, and we're playing against this team, like RL, like Violet, I think was the name or something. I
Okay.
forget the
It was like
actual
a
name.
yeah. It was like a company team kind of thing.
It was the company, but the last name was the name of this kid and the coach. So the coach sponsored a team because his son was like a really, really good baseball player. He was actually pretty good, but he was
Okay.
he was an only child, and I think he was used to getting his way or whatever. So anyway,
Yeah.
we're in the championship game, and my coach, Bill Scott, a great baseball mind. Great. I loved him. He was one of the best Little League coaches ever. Real calm, would never yell or anything like that. Would never, he was
Shout
always,
out Kev Scott.
Oh, huge shout out to Kev Scott.
End of the show.
Yeah, fan show,
Fan listener show. Yeah, for sure. So we're playing this guy in the championship, and this kid has like in first at bat, home run, second at bat, home run, third at bat, another bomb. This kid's 3 for 3, 3 bombs. He's probably got like 9 RBIs.
Wow.
So it's bottom 6th inning, and it's bases loaded. And I think they were down by like 3. And our coach, Bill Scott,
Smart.
decides to call the intentional walk.
Do it.
The place goes crazy. Parents are screaming. His dad, who's a coach, comes out to the umpire to try to like. Everybody's freaking. Like people are throwing hot dogs and stuff. And Bill Scott's just standing there smiling.
Yeah.
No, like I'm not pitching this kid. I'm not letting this kid walk off on us. I'm not.
Ain't happening, Captain.
I'll walk
Yeah.
in a run, but I'm
Yeah.
not. This kid's been hitting bombs all day. It would be a ridiculous managerial move to pitch this. It
Yeah.
would be crazy. It would
Yeah.
be-
What do you think this is? The T-ball league? This is fucking Little League. All right. We manage the game.
Get out of here.
championship. Yeah,
And the kid's
board
already
walk.
batted 3 times. Yeah, you're done. I'm walking you. Get out of
Yeah.
here,
Exactly.
Bond.
He's 3 bombs, and the home runs we're not talking right field over the
Yeah.
fence. by,
Kid's
like,
hitting the
2
snack shed. It's
Yeah.
not happening.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
We had a notoriously short porch too. So
Oh.
I mean, yeah. So they start intentionally, walking this kid. This kid gets so upset he starts crying like hysterically in the box. He like can't handle it.
So this kid
Yeah,
was
he's
on
pissed.
like some fucking juice at that age.
He's on
and was
Stacker, too.
Yeah, he was hormonally unstable.
He probably had like a $900 baseball bat, which makes the story
Oh,
even funnier. Like he had
love
the top of the line stuff. I think he had a pitching machine in his backyard. He had like a batting cage.
Wow.
Yeah, they love
So,
baseball.
Yeah.
So anyway, this kid's crying hysterically, and then at like ball 3, he decides he's going to start swinging it. He's going to try
Yeah,
to
he's
hit a
trying to
home.
reach
He's
out.
yeah. So he's crying hysterically. Everybody's screaming. The coach is screaming. Bill Scott stays with it, intentionally walk. This kid starts stepping out of the box, swinging at it. And then with one pitch left, he got a piece of it, but I was playing first base and he dribbled one down to first base. So I caught it and then just to hot dog it a little bit, I slid into first base to end the game. And the place went, like, he's throwing his helmet, he's screaming at people. We win the championship because this kid refuses to take his 4 pitches and get another RBI.
Yeah. Dude, he was legit in his head thinking like, I've hit 3 home runs today. I'm about to go up and hit a 4th and hit a walk-off grand slam in the championship. This is my fucking life.
And
Not
then Bill
today.
Scott said, no, you're getting intentionally walked. And then this kid swings at 3 pitches outside the strike zone. It was hilarious. Like, it was amazing.
Love it.
I guess
So the pitcher was legit like, no, further over. Get over more. I'm not going near this guy.
I just remember like parents like standing up on the bleachers, like screaming obscenities at Bill Scott.
Really?
Let him hit. How dare you?
Was that just the opposing team's people? Like, your team must have been like, no, good job.
Everybody on our squad was like, yeah, especially when he started swinging at these things. I mean, it was
like, strike him out.
Awesome. Yeah. He dribbled one down to first. Like, you can't get power with it's 8 feet outside the box.
You just can't step over the plate.
He's not Kelly Leak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's keep it moving then. All right. But really, you did some baseball, but really you excelled at 2 sports. And we'll start with soccer first, right? So your soccer career always wasn't, it wasn't the great, like it didn't start out like as your love, but you really kind of worked into it. So how did soccer come about?
I guess so. I started playing like, U6 soccer.
Sure.
For the 40 Fort Pioneers, which is a fun name.
Yeah.
And we used to play, our home field was called the Cabbage Patch, which is also fun to say. So we'd go down to the Cabbage Patch. Yeah.
The 40 Fort Pioneers at the Cabbage Patch.
At the Cabbage Patch. Yeah.
Love it.
And I just played U6 and I loved it. I was like, I really liked playing goalie. I always kind of like gravitated towards that. We had in my yard, we had a garage and we had this little yellow ball, and me and Byrne used to just play a game where he would stand like probably like 15 feet away and just throw this ball at the garage, and my job was to stop it. So it was always kind of like being a goalie anyway.
Wow.
So I love playing that. And then when I started at like U6, I just started doing, I really liked keeper. I, as a shorter, pudgier gentleman, was never too great in the field.
No, I mean, all 3 of us here were goalies. Am I correct? Yeah. Yes, I was a goalie as well. I'm not running 20 miles as a 6-year-old. Fucking go fuck yourself.
I was a damn good goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that for, U6 all the way up to like U12 and all that stuff like that. So I played for 44 for as long as I could. And then I started getting pretty decent. So then I started playing for a travel team, Northeast Attack, which is another fun name.
Great. Dude, when Pulaski was on, he was on the Back Mountain Blues was his soccer team, which I was like, that's a good fucking name. Yeah. But you're the Northeast Attack.
Yeah, Northeast Attack. Better. It was like a great white shark eating a soccer ball. So that was fun.
Love
it. We had cool patches. The main thing was you'd go play these tournaments, and then when you were done, you'd exchange patches.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty good one. So I did that for a long time. I loved that. And then after a few years, I wanted to try football. So like in 7th or 8th grade, I jumped to football. But I played soccer all the way up till then. And then when football didn't quite pan out, I went back to soccer in high school, and that's when I got pretty good.
What we'll go to give us your football. What happened there? It was short-lived, right?
Football was like, I had some friends on the street. My parents knew some people who played, their kids played football, and it was always like they were telling me I could play later. Like I had to play soccer because they didn't want me to get hurt or whatever. Yeah. And then when I got older, I could go football.
Sure.
So I loved pickup football. I had good hands, never a good arm, but I had good hands, and we would play like tackle and flag and stuff like that, and I loved it. Yeah. And then in 7th grade,
dude, backyard tackle football. Is there anything fucking better? Right? Like you and your buddies. It's literally the greatest thing of all time.
The greatest thing. And then probably like you, same thing. So I signed up for tackle football, but had played backyard football my whole life, loved it. And I missed the first week of practice where I guess they go light, and because I was on vacation, and then I showed up and I was like, oh, this is completely different.
Yeah.
They're like, this is war. And they want you to become an animal.
Yeah.
And not everybody's going out for passes each play. Like, I have to stand here and fight a guy with my hands.
Yeah.
Like,
We don't giggle while we tackle each other anymore.
Yeah.
We don't,
Yeah.
it's fun, don't rip my shirt.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I play with Tommy's older brother and he's going to hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So, Mike, sorry, we interrupted you. So you go to what, 8th grade? You're doing it? You're jumping on? Or what's going
so
down?
we go to 8th grade, and I settled into like a tackle offensive line stuff or D tackle or something.
We were all
that.
goalies and we were all offensive linemen. I love it.
I didn't play offensive line.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No.
What'd
I
you
played
play?
I played D end, tight end. I got to play wide receiver a little bit.
Remind me, the tight end, where does he line up?
No, I mean, I guess it's technically an offensive lineman. But I wasn't a very good pass blocker.
No. So, okay.
Neither
So,
was
sorry.
I.
So, 8th grade. Yeah. No, if we were all good, we would have done it. But, okay.
I definitely like defense more. And like when
same.
we would do like the second team stuff, they would let me do a little linebacker. And I love, like, I had so much fun for that. But like the whole thing was like, I just didn't have the speed at all to do anything. So I was never like too big to really kill it on the line, but I was never fast enough to get off the line. So that's kind of where I settled. So in 8th grade, me and my buddy, Druss, we were captains of the team. We lost every single game. Not even close. We were getting killed. Our team was terrible. Our principal at the time used to say special prayers for the football team at church. If that gives you any idea about how
you guys are just getting waffled that bad.
Yeah, we were like, we could barely feel the team. So like, I think Jeff was on the show and said that there was a rumor that he was going to play, and they made him a jersey. Yeah.
And when you say Jeff, you mean Pulaski.
My younger brother, Pulaski.
Yeah. And he had said that he was going to go out for kicker. That was his whole thing. And then his buddy on the team told him that he was now going to be a D-back. And he's like, well, no, I'm not. I'm a kicker or nothing. And I quit.
They were like, all right, great to see you. You're our ex-receiver, and you're
And he's like, no, I'm kicking the ball. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So
football was like, so we we're playing, and so in 9th grade, we decided in varsity that I didn't want to do it anymore. So we told the parents, how to make a few phone calls to coaches. My parents made me call myself. How did
that go?
You know what? I honestly don't think they thought I was going to do it. I think they thought I was going to be scared about it. And I was like, nah, give me, my coach's name was like Yankovic, but we called him Coach Yank, which is an interesting name when you think about it.
Did he ever say, are you yanking me? That would be fucking best.
Yanking my chain.
Are you fucking yanking me? You're quitting the team, Podcasy?
If only he did. That would have made it even fun.
You would have been like, you know what? I was, but that was pretty fucking great. I'm staying.
So I honestly think my mom did not think I was going to do it.
So wait, your mom, you wanted to quit the team, but in order to quit the team, your parents made you call the coach and tell him, and the coach was Yank. So you're calling Yank. How the hell does calling Yankee go?
Not great. Not great. You would think that an adult man would be a little not just kinder, but also like he freaked out. I was hilarious.
It's not like you guys have a full 55-man roster. Like, so he like needs you, and you're like, God damn it, yeah.
He's like, Podcasy, you're my 10th best player out of 11 kids.
Right? Yeah.
Let's go.
He starts telling me, he's like, I have huge plans for you next year, all this stuff like this. He starts like promising me like all these positions.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I'm out. And then he freaked out. And then I immediately called my buddy, who was the captain on the junior high team, because we had a quit policy. So I called him. I was like, trust, I quit. And then he called him immediately because he hated it too.
Yeah.
So we both quit in like 15 minutes on a Saturday. And apparently, his conversation went just as bad. Yeah, I was told by like an adult that like this is the worst thing you could ever do. Like, how dare you abandon not even the team, like him personally? Like, how could you do this to me and all this stuff like that? So yeah, I got out of there. It was the right move. I was not good.
Smart.
It wasn't that fun.
So then let's get back to soccer then. So you said F off to football. And then when did you get back into soccer, aka European football?
So I quit like I think it was sophomore year, and then in the beginning of junior year, I'm going. My younger brother Polotsky's playing for the soccer team, and I go to a game. It's like one of their first games of the season, and one of my buddies, he's their goalie. This kid is big into basketball. I play with him on the basketball team. He's just doing this kind of for fun. He was getting some kind of talk about maybe getting a scholarship for basketball, which he eventually did. So he was just doing goalie, just kind of stay in shape and just kind of mess around with it. Like he liked it, but
his heart was in basketball. Yeah.
And he was a good athlete. And so I'm at this game and I'm kind of feeling like, I'm like, oh man, I kind of miss playing soccer. Like, this looks fun and stuff. And I'm sitting up in the bleachers and stuff. And this kid during that game gets injured. Like 50-50 ball. He's running out, slides down, like takes a cleat or whatever, and he gets out. So he's out. So thank God it wasn't like a bad enough injury that hurt his basketball career.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah.
But it kind of like turned the light on for him and his I think his family were like, listen, if you're just doing this for fun, like you could still get hurt. So like maybe we should just concentrate on
go
hoops.
monkey off somewhere else. Yeah. Play in a fall basketball league.
Right. So this kid's like not
so sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was great. So this kid, he's like, I'm going to be done for the year. Now the drama comes in. The backup goalie, this kid didn't like being sat for this other kid. He decides to quit. He just quits. Now's his chance to
all the
quitting.
What? He's got now is his time.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll show you. I won't play at all.
Exactly. He felt slighted. So he just quit the next day or like after that game, he quit or something.
No, he couldn't handle the pressure. That's what it was. Yeah. So then my younger brother Polotsky told his coach, like, hey, my older brother used to be a goalie. Like I could ask him if he wants to play. But then after that game, I was like feeling like I wanted to go do it anyway. So it kind of like I was like nostalgic for it. So then the next day I walked into school and he was also our gym teacher, the soccer coach. And he just like in first period was like, hey, do you want to play goalie? Like, all right. And he was like, it was like Monday. He's like, all right, we have a game too.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like, you're on the team and you start tomorrow. So see you at practice.
Yeah. So we played like the best team in the league. And they I remember them scoring like 9 goals on me. And I know for a fact, like in my head, I was like, I know 7 of those were like just me being terrible. Like in my heyday, I could have stopped them. So the rest of junior year was fun. And then senior year, I took it real seriously. And we won the district championship, and then we went the farthest in state.
In school history?
In school history, yeah.
So even further than your older brother that didn't decide to show up for the 44th round table or this episode, you went further than he did.
The very same brother. Yes, I went farther than him. Me and Jeff went farther than him.
Wow. I mean, hey, commitment, right, guys?
We had this awesome, great, our whole strategy was to not score goals. It's like we just packed in defense, but our 4 defenders were all seniors, and then I was a keeper, and we did not mess around, dude. Like we didn't mess around.
So you guys were like, fuck you, you're not getting past us. What did you lose the game, the States game by?
The States game, we got smoked. I think we
defense kind of blew up a little bit, huh?
We lost like 7-1, but the nice thing was the other coach in the interview with the paper was like, he said something really like complimentary about me. He's like, I can see why that kid was like an all-state goalie. It could have been like 14-1 or something like that. So he gave me props, even though they smoked us.
Wow. Wait, so you were an all-state goalie?
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What the fuck? You didn't mention that in the pre-show.
I set some district playoff for record for a shutout time. But
Hell yeah.
Amazing defense. I'm talking our back 4 were like, I saw a good amount of shots, but like a lot of them were never anything dangerous just because like the best player on our team was our sweeper and he was phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
he was great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Nice.
I was pretty good, but we had a great defense, and no one tried to score. Like ever. We just wanted to win like 1-0.
Yeah.
We're like that. We were like that squad in like the Euros where you're like, this team doesn't score at all.
Yeah.
Like they're playing for a 0-0 draw.
That's
all the time. Yeah.
that's 90% of the time that is Albania. That is their team.
Yeah.
It's like the German leagues up there.
They are
They're like
all
that defense
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you don't get the ball past us. No. So
There is
okay.
no fun.
No.
There is only defense. It's always winter. Fatherland.
The defense. Yeah.
It's
So
only
okay. So then let's get to the cream of the crop. While we're here, let's talk a little basketball. All right. So hold on. Let's get back to some other stuff though. So you're in school. Listen to this. Listen to this. Jalen DeHerb.
I'm
Mike,
listening.
get your poll out because it's about to get smoked. Listen to this. All right. Our boy here, the middle brother of the three Podcasy brothers. I'm a middle brother myself. Shout out middle brothers all around the world.
Technically a
Justin.
middle.
Yeah, technically.
In a wild ass way, but I'm technically a middle. I have 3 older and 3 younger.
So yeah, no, you're 100% a middle. So okay. Yeah, you're directly a middle. So all right. Justin, before we get to that, all right. Well, folks, it's time for our new favorite segment. It's the jdub Ask Some Fucking Questions randomly in the middle of the show segment, and I fucking love it. So, Mike, before we get back to smoking some pole, we're going to talk where jdub's going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer them. So,
Sounds good.
jdub, take it away.
I have a few here. Do you remember all the lyrics to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
Probably not. No.
You want to give it a shot for us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which
and to
it
the
stands,
republic for which it stands.
one nation under
Under
God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice
for all.
for everybody, for all of us.
For all. Yeah, so you did not know it.
So I did not know. No. I got
Matt, did you used to end yours with the amen? Well, you went to Catholic school. You
Yeah.
used to end yours with the amen. Oh, you both went to Catholic school. I went to public school, and there was like the 2 or 3 kids in class who would end theirs with an amen, and people look at them like that's not in this. It's not in there.
They used to make do you remember morning prayers? And like we would have to do in the morning, right? This is how it seems kind of cultish now that you look back on it. But morning and afternoon, before, like when we would get in, they do the announcements and the principal would come on. Everyone would stand up. We would say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. Mike, can't believe you fucking remember that. And then we would say Hail Mary and in Our Father, right? And then we would leave. Right. And before we left, we would say another Hail Mary and in Our Father. Yeah.
I don't know if we did the double Hail Mary, but we did, Pledge Allegiance, and then definitely a Hail Mary, definitely an Our Father. And then I think we would sit and they would do the morning announcement.
Yeah. And then did you have to, before lunch, you would have to say a prayer too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of praying.
A lot of fucking praying there, baby.
A lot of saying hi, just stopping in, saying what up.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next question.
If you could be an all-star in any of one of the 4 major sports,
So hockey, basketball, baseball, football.
what position and what team would you be on?
And what sport, what position, what team, and what if you could be an all-star?
You'd be an all-star. You'd be great at it.
Yeah.
I would be like a 3 or 4 in basketball, no doubt. Yeah, it's like a stretch 4 or like a short 3.
You would take like any team that drafted you, or do you want to play for someone?
I mean, I'm wearing the Celtics jersey, so I would be a Boston Celtics. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
What era though? If you could pick any era as well.
Wow.
What era? You going with Billy Russell? You going with Bird?
You're not starting over Bird.
Oh, you playing with Bird?
I'm not starting over Bird, but I'm imagining I'm really good if I'm an all-star. I think I would go the Bird era for sure.
Yeah.
Then you got
Bird,
Magic.
McHale.
Yeah.
They fought the Pistons every year.
Oh, dude, with
Showtime
Lambeer
Lakers.
and Dr. J.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Round mound and rebound. Yeah, I would do that era.
Speaking of, have you been watching Winning Time, the story of the LA Lakers?
I watched a little of the first one, but I'm dying to get. I'm gonna let.
Oh, you haven't even seen Larry Bird yet.
No.
Larry Bird ends up on the show, and it's fucking. I would love if they do like, because the way that they went, it was like, Magic wins it his rookie year. Then Bird, I think, wins it hit their second year, right? And then I think the Sixers win it the third year, right? And then I forget who wins it the fourth year, but they didn't, or maybe they met in their fourth year, right?
The Lakers or the Sixers are in the finals every year from 1979 until 1989.
That's wild.
If they're not playing each other, one of them are in the finals.
So okay, but they the first time I think they meet was 84, right? Like when the Lakers played, like when Magic played Bird, I think the first time was 84 because I think whatever. So either way,
year after the Sixers,
Magic and Bird played in the national championship in college.
Yes. Yep. The most, dude, still to this day, the number one televised game, most viewed televised basketball game, not college, not pro, game of all time is amazing. Bird Magic National Championship.
Michigan State versus Indiana State.
Yeah, dude, that's how captivated everyone was by, the Bird. But either way, God, what was I going to say? But no, they played in 84. So for Winning Time, I would love this. Is that this season they're following like Magic Johnson's come up, right? Okay. So I would love it if next season they did Birds. And then the third season, bam,
dude, that would be awesome.
Bam, right? Well, actually, technically, be the third season. Both of them don't make it, and they lose to the Sixers. But then the fourth season, bam. Yeah,
they gotta do. There's so many cool teams they could do too. Like if they did Broad Street Bullies
back to backs. Oh my god!
If they did like that Mariners team with Ken, A-Rod,
Big Unit,
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, Big Unit.
Dude, Big Unit probably got so much whiskey tango poon. It was ridiculous. Dude, he must have just ran the trailer park. Like, are we kidding me?
Mustache rides for days.
Oh,
for days. At 101 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's why they call him the unit, yo.
The mustache and mullet. Dude. So, okay. So
if you had to fight one of the Golden Girls, which one would you pick?
Ooh, I don't know. Blanche is pretty crafty.
Dorothy, Blanche.
We'll just say Mike would never hit a woman, but in this case, this woman has a 2-foot machete, and she's coming after him. So he has every right to hit her. That's that's the rules. So
no, it's a sanctioned event.
Yeah.
In an octagon.
Wow. No rules though. It's just in an octagon. Like you can bite and pull hair.
I think it's gotta go. I think it would have to go Dorothy. I think it would have to be Dorothy.
You go B-Arth?
She's got the reach.
Yep.
I think it would be tough.
It's almost a fair fight.
But she's probably got me in height. So if I if I could stay low, because
eat the body.
I think I could hack the tree down, and then I think I could take her. Yeah, I think
excellent choice.
Excellent choice.
All right. F, Marry, Kill. Patty Mayonnaise, Lois Griffin, Marge Simpson.
Wow. You are watching a weird type of porn these days, Justin. Wow.
I have a whole list of cartoon females. I didn't know which three to pick. I also had like Luann from King of the Hill. I had Amy Wong from Futurama.
No, Patty Mayonnaise. Well, let's just say this. In the show, Patty Mayonnaise is like 13. So we'll say it's an adult Patty Mayonnaise.
Right.
I was going to throw in Linda Belcher, but I don't know if you watch Bob's Burgers.
Actually, let's get rid of Patty Mayonnaise.
We're going to do
we're
going to do Linda Belcher, Lois Griffin,
or
Marge Simpson. F, Marry, and Kill.
So they're all three moms, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is so. I don't want to kill any of them. I don't want to kill any of them.
Sure, but I mean, which one do you want to F and which one do you want to marry? I mean, I'll tell you this. For me, I'm marrying Lois, right?
Okay.
She's gonna put up with your shit for
she
sure.
puts up with a
And her
lot.
father is very rich.
Yeah. Oh, the rich.
That's a good. Lois is a good lockdown.
She's a good Mary.
She got a
good
wagon.
Mary. No, she got that wagon, and she likes to get down. She likes to get down.
All right, I'm going a different way. I gotta go a different way here.
Dude, yeah,
'Cause I want to be married to Linda Belcher so badly. I like out of everybody, I want to be married to Lynn immediately.
I
Like,
am. In
I'd only
real
call
life.
her Lynn. I'd let her sing her songs all the time. Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
And then out of respect for just the catalog, I'm gonna F Marge Simpson.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you've seen Marge with her hair down.
That's
yo.
listen. I
Without
have
that crazy
to,
hairstyle.
Wow.
Marge is a
Also,
babe.
I feel
Wow.
like she would be all right with my body type. With,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean,
she's
so was
tall,
Lois.
you know,
So was
yeah.
Lois.
So would Lois,
I know.
But Marge knows how to
hey,
handle that kind of engine.
What can I say? I love when a girl puts her hair up. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure. Shout out.
And then unfortunately, I'd have to
by
kill
process
Lois.
of elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later. See you later, Lois.
I would feel really, really.
So
really
you're
bad about it, but
you're marrying Lynn.
yeah, 100%.
You're taking down Marge. You're
Yeah.
taking it down
Yeah.
to China.
Yeah.
You're telling her to put her hair down.
Right.
Then you're taking it down.
Yes.
And then you're ex-naying Lois. See you later, Kaputski.
Yeah, she's out. She's got to go.
I mean, you know what? I respect your choices. I really do.
Would you rather shit in Johnny Depp's bed, or would you rather
Ooh,
would you
topical.
rather have Amber Heard shit in your bed?
Ooh.
I don't know. I think it would be funnier if I was the pooper. So I think I'd poop in Johnny Depp's bed.
Did you ever hear
Does he
this?
have to be there, or is it just like I
No.
sneak in?
Yeah,
Poop in his
sneak in.
pillow.
You can do it like you know what?
out.
You can do it like your favorite movie, Godfather Part 1, and instead of a horse head, it's shit.
Yeah,
There
I
you
would
go.
definitely. Yeah, I think it would be funnier. Yeah.
What if,
And
dude?
then I don't have to clean it or anything. Then I'm out. It's not my
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So then, yeah.
That's fair.
What, dude? Oh my god, that's great. What the hell is going on in this world? But yeah,
We had this one place where we lived. There was this like crime, like investigate crime syndrome going on about like what is going on. There was this guy they called the piss bottle bandit in East Falls. People were like investigating this every
Of
now and
course.
again.
in East Falls.
Somebody would just like pee in an empty bottle and chuck it into miscellaneous backyards. But we lived on this hill. So like the one morning my wife goes out to let the dog out and like a pee bottle like landed in our backyard, but she saw like the trajectory. So she was like trying to figure it out. And then, we would come home and there'd be like handwritten signs like, who's ever peeing in bottles and throwing them in the backyard, like the police now know about you. And it went on for like years. Like nobody caught this person. But every now and again, you'd like
Dude.
hear like they struck again.
The piss bottle bandit strikes again. Dude, I remember that house in East Falls. We watched the Game of Thrones finale there. I
Yes, we
remember that.
did. Yeah.
Dude. So the piss bottle bandit is just a bunch of kids being idiots in East Falls.
100%. But there's definitely like
There's gotta be one guy that
there's
does
like
it.
an oral history. So I think it's being like passed down by these college
Wow.
kids.
Legend.
Your
It's been
father
going on
was a
for
piss
apparently
bottle
a long-
bandit,
Yeah.
and his father was a piss bottle bandit, and you're a piss bottle bandit.
It's family's legacy.
It'd be crazy if it was a girl, also.
Right?
They test
It
it.
could be.
Whoever
Yeah.
you are, you're pregnant.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be your wife for all you know.
Listen,
You know
what?
She was
There's-
out there alone when the bottle fell. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it. I
Yeah,
don't
whoever it
know.
is,
Good
they're
cover.
also going through menopause.
Maybe it's just
So-
a gift for probation officers, for people who need clean urine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
I needed this.
Yay! Thank
Somebody's
you.
outside. They're like, I can't believe my PO's coming in. I need a drug test, and it just like falls in their backyard.
Dude. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
All right, I have a quick few. I have if you had to play for your soul a game against death, who is of
Ooh.
average ability? What
Is
game
this-
do you feel
Is
confident
this
in that
a
you
is
would
this
pick?
a board game / video
You could pick
game?
whatever you want. You could pick
Oh, sport
a
or anything?
video, as long as there is a definitive winner. You could go from rock paper scissors shoot to blackjack to NBA
Yeah.
Jam Tournament Edition on Sega.
I don't know how I did this, but like from first grade to like fifth grade, I think I was pretty much undefeated in paper football. I don't know how I did it. I just got it. I just understood it. And so I would
got the
I'd
touch.
paper football. Yeah.
Are you allowed to pick the table? Do you have a table in mind or any table?
It would have to be like my third grade desk.
That nice slide on there.
Yep.
You know the
Did you have a desk too? I remember this. The desks at our high school, the chairs were the best chairs for cracking your back in the history of the world. I still miss it sometimes. You would grab because it was the desk and chair combo. Right?
Yeah.
So you would grab the front, right? Yeah. And you would like go up a little and then you push back and it's just like crack. Oh my God. Ugh. Even thinking about it now. Okay. So
all right, last one.
Let's go.
Of topical nature as well. If you could purchase a social media platform, which one would you purchase?
Ooh. And what would you do with it after you purchased it?
I would. So what I would do is I would buy Twitter and I would make it that you could only write 3 letters. Or no, actually, everything had to be a haiku. Haikus
7,
only.
5,
that's it.
7.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
Justin, you knew a haiku off the top of your head?
Oh, I've written many a silly haiku. I think I have a book of them somewhere on the shelf over here.
Yeah.
No, and also if you played Ghost of Tsushima, they make you write a bunch of haikus.
Ooh, so I have to play that.
Shout out Ghost of Tsushima.
Is it only available for PS3 or is it available on Xbox?
PlayStation only, and it's pure fire.
Man,
got that platinum. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, that's the one I never. Yeah, I mean iPhones and PlayStation 3. That's where I differ with a lot of. I'm an Xbox guy and a Samsung guy, so go fuck your mother.
I am as well, Lavelle.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, Samsung, Microsoft. Yeah. I will say though, I love PlayStation, but I'm legitly loyal to Nintendo. I have a Triforce tattoo on my body.
Hell yes.
So I'm a Nintendo man all the way.
Dude, Nintendo's not bad. I recently had to play Nintendo because I won a Mario Kart Double Dash match for the show. I was
won
so
outright. Mad I couldn't go to that. I was so mad. I had to work on the weekends. I'm so mad.
I was really mad that I never figured out, or I didn't like. We had the ability to live stream it on YouTube, and I didn't do it, and I should have, and I'm mad about it to this day because I haven't aired it right. And but it doesn't matter because everyone knows who won, and history is written by the victors, and I'm the fucking victor. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe one day we'll get out there, but I'm not in a hurry. Everyone knows I won the rights to the show, and it's my show, and he can go shove off. But yeah, no, when training, I was like, dude, Nintendo can do the thing. Nintendo fucking gets it. They fucking get it. All right. They do, man. Justin, was that all the questions?
That's it.
Wow. Well, that was a fantastic, amazing jdub's question segment again. If any of you want to provide some questions for jdub to ask in the jdub's question segment, you can send it to us on the Twitter at Working P Pod or on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, or you can hit us up at our Facebook page at the Working Perspectives Podcast. So yeah, I have to post on all those every day.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Every day. I did it twice today. Dude, let me tell you this. I'll fucking talk about this, even though no one wants to hear it. You post on your TikTok feed and your TikTok stories. Right. Then I have it set up that every time I post on my TikTok feed, that automatically goes to my Snapchat feed. Right. Then from there, I go to Instagram. I post on Instagram Reel and I post on Instagram Story because the Instagram Reel automatically goes to my Instagram post. Right. Then I go to Facebook. I post on my Facebook feed. Right. Then I get the show. The show has a page. I post on the show's page. Right. Then I go to Twitter and I post on Twitter. Right. And then I go to YouTube and I do a YouTube short. 9. That's one post gets sent 9 places. Right. And I did that 3 times today. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm just the talent. I just show up and just look pretty.
Well, you do a great job of that, babe.
You do a great job, J-Dub.
Probably the best job. So, all right, let's get back to smoking some poles. So, our boy Machayim here, right? All-state goalie, state champion basketball, homecoming king,
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
class president.
Look at
Did
this
you?
guy.
Were you the prom king as well, Mike?
I was.
Stop the fuck!
You devil, you.
I had a pretty fun senior year. I had
Oh
a pretty
my
fun senior
god!
year.
How was
Oh
your
my
wave?
god!
Nice,
Right.
nice cupped hand. Good.
It
good
was.
turn.
My sash was nice, a good sash placement and everything like that. Yeah.
Attaboy, kid.
Were you dating
Yeah.
either the prom queen or the homecoming queen?
No, the homecoming queen. I was not dating. So the funny thing about this though, like when we were talking about my how big my class was, I mean, I did all this stuff, but I graduated with like 62 people my senior year. And like we knew everybody. So the homecoming queen and me went to kindergarten through 12 together. So like
Yeah.
it was kind of, it's not like this like huge thing. And like for class president, I actually stepped into the role because I was vice president, but the president left the school in scandal.
Let's talk about it. What was this scandal?
It was
Yep.
covered on House of Cards episode. No.
Yeah. Yeah. The alleged scandal was that her mother was caught stealing from the church money. So
Can't do that.
Yeah. So she had to leave. And then as vice president, they had to get somebody in the role. because a lot was going on.
You're next in line.
Wow.
Yeah. So I took the position over in scandal.
So
Unlike,
it was legit a Richard Nixon scenario.
Unlike the former goalie, as the backup, you were ready and willing. And
I
stepped up.
was ready. I stepped right in. I stepped into the role. Yes. Yeah.
I like
Love
that.
it.
You didn't fold under the pressure. I like it.
Love it. Okay. So, homecoming king, prom king, president of the class, all-state goalie. Were you all-state in basketball also?
No, I got on the all-star squad.
All-star in
So
basketball.
I
on
was
the
an
state
all-star,
championship team.
district all-star.
So let's talk about it. I would have to say it's probably Burns number one as well, but basketball was your guys' jam. And I guess out of all the sports
Yes.
at your high school, basketball was the biggest, right? Would you say? Like
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
So talk to me about it.
The
Let's
whole
go
the
through
weird
it.
thing is the Wyoming Valley, man, the whole place shows up for basketball.
Yeah.
Like that play it loves basketball. Like the other day, Nick Gill's the athletic department director, and he showed us a video where the scoreboard like went nuts and he had to go turn it off really quick. So the announcers were like, oh, great job by athletic director Nick Gill. And my wife was just like, is that televised? I was like, yeah. I was like, they like the Valley, man, Wyoming Valley, they love their high school basketball. So it was a lot of fun to play that, dude. Like we had these rivalries and we were a small Catholic school, but we still played all the big state schools and stuff. So when we won states, we won in district, like Division A. Like single A. So we were like a small school. Like I said, I graduated with like 60, 70 kids.
Yeah.
So we would play small teams in districts and state, but in the conference, we were playing these quad A, triple A schools and stuff like that. And we got to the point like my senior year that we were handling them pretty well, but like it was great competition. And the whole Valley loves college. Like they love high school basketball. So it was always like a huge, like they would sell out gyms and it would be nuts, like both sides and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun to play in as a high school basketball player.
Yeah. Didn't you play, who is the Syracuse dude? Magic Shoes?
Yeah. So we got to play Jerry McNamara.
Remember him?
That sounds familiar.
You played at Syracuse with Mello.
McNamara.
And then after Mello left, he made a run with his Magic Shoes.
I think he's like an assistant now with Boeheim. So I think he's like next in line to take over whenever Boeheim steps down.
Well,
But yeah, we played him his senior year in like the second round of states. And like everybody was all jacked to guard this guy. He went to Bishop Hannon. So everybody like knew that he was going to Syracuse. And everybody was like, oh, we're holding this guy down. And to our coach's credit, we hung with him. And then in like the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left, they just ran a play where he would dribble the ball down and they would set two high screens at the 3-point line on either wing. And he would just pick his poison. And I think he like went off for like 16 straight, but it was just like we were, and the seniors that they were like, he's not scoring on us, or he's not doing this or that. And then like I remember like watching on the bench being like, oh, that's why he's going division. like bang a three and then go left and dunk and then bang another three and then dunk again and then pull it. Like it was just like with
He
6
could
minutes
dunk?
left, they're like, oh, dude, he could throw. He could throw at, like, I don't know if he did it a lot in college, but in high school he was posterizing people. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good for Whitey.
So then we play him, and then his next year he goes to Syracuse, and him and Carmelo
win a national title.
championship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, okay. So then also I want to talk about basketball because there was a major shift when it came down to it. Like initially when there was a little politicking going on the B-ball squad, but then that all changed what was the name of the coach?
So we get this new coach. Like when Byrne was there, Byrne had 4 different head coaches in 4 years in basketball.
Fuck that.
So when all of a sudden my sophomore year, we get this new coach. His name's Mark Belinsky. He coaches at Dallas now. And he comes in, he's not like a teacher at the school. He didn't have any kids. So there was like, it wasn't like his son or anything or daughter went to school or anything like that. And this guy comes in and just no politics, is just like, listen, we're going to have cuts. So like, it was the first tryout we ever had to, because, then some parents are freaking out. How could you cut people at a Catholic school? Like it's not Christian and stuff. So Belinsky comes in and changes the entire culture. So we have cuts. So some people got cut who thought they were going to be on. And then he starts this freshman point guard. And the senior point guard who thought he was up next freaks out. Like parents are going into the principal. They're going to the athletic director. So these 2 seniors we had are like, they're like, we're going to quit if you don't start our buddy. So our coach is like, well, then leave. Like, I don't care. Like, it was so cool to see like no politics or anything. And then like 3 years later, we win a state championship. And then the year after that, they backed it up.
Oh, back-to-back state championships?
Yeah. I was on my senior year, we won one. And then when I left the next year, they win again. But the funny thing is that freshman point guard that parents were like picketing over, full ride to Townsend.
Oh,
like,
my God.
The best scholarship probably ever out of that school, really.
Yeah.
And then he gets a full ride to Townsend. He's playing Division I ball. And so clearly my coach knew what was going on. But dude, he had a great mentality. We played good ball. He taught us a lot about how the game, like fundamentals and stuff like that. So it gave me like a deeper appreciation. So now when I watch basketball, like I could understand it actually a little bit better.
You guys do have I've watched basketball with you. You do have a high IQ of basketball. I will say that. Okay. And all right, let's keep it going then. Now I want to get started with some job stuff. So I think Pulaski did this. I don't know if Byrne did, but you were like custodians at the elementary school for a little while, right? And that was your summer job because like your mom kind of had a thing going, right? Yeah. So she was like a secretary at the school, so she could hook it up. So yeah. We got some jobs, and it was, I'll tell you what, I don't recommend working with your mom, because then if you're not good at your job, you get grounded on your personal time. So there were many weekends where I was grounded for work-related activities. Yeah. I worked with my mom at an Italian restaurant called Casa d'Amici, right? Okay. And she was like, her whole thing as like a waitress, she was a waitress and I was a busboy. I also did dishwashing and stuff too, but her whole thing was she was trying to put on like a performance for her customers. So she'd be like, Matt, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to tell them that there's this dish called rotolo di mare that they have to try, right? And I'm going to say, Matt, what's your favorite? And you're going to say that, right? And I was just like, yeah, whatever, Mom. I don't know, whatever. And then later, she's at the table, talking to the hamming it up, really selling with these people. Right. And she's like, my son works here, and this is his favorite dish. Matt, what's your favorite dish? And I was like, calamari. And she's like, you fucking idiot. You had one line. And I was like, God damn it. But yeah. So no. But yeah, we're talking about
that's smart. She's like putting like a plant in the audience.
Yes. Exactly.
That's smart. That's
smart. But
like
it wasn't smart when it didn't work out. Yeah, she got a bunch of crickets on that one, baby. But either way, so then let's keep it going. So, all right. But then you left there, and this is a job that very intriguing. You were a crew captain of a highway cleanup crew for 1 year. So what does a crew captain of a highway cleanup crew do? And who do you do it for? What is going on here?
You know what? I wish I knew the specifics. I got this job and I like applied for it, and they just basically were like, hey, here's a truck, like here's a van. I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, all right, and here's like 4 people you're gonna pick up every day. Like, all right.
How old were you?
I was like, I was just driving. So not,
God.
like I'm talking like, to crew a captain at like 16 or 17 in the summers. Not,
Are you
not responsible.
How old
are you
these-
picking up? Sorry, are you picking up people who have to do community service?
That's what I thought.
I am. Yes, I am. I'm picking up younger people who have to do community service.
Okay.
How old were these morons?
I would say the funny thing is if I'm 17, they're like 15, and I'm supposed to be like the boss of these people.
They're 15, all fresh out of juvie.
Yeah. So
They're
I'm
like, look,
think
I was slashing tires and they plugged me. Yeah.
So, but they like didn't really like give us a set schedule or where to go. Like somebody just gave me like a whole map of Pennsylvania and was like, oh, just clean highways and roads. And like they didn't tell us like for how long to do it really, or like what really like. So I would just pick these kids up at like 9 o'clock. We'd like go to McDonald's and then we'd like hang out in the parking lot for a while. And then I would just like find a road that I thought was dirty. And like we'd like park the car and like do it for like a half an hour. And then we drive around more and like go get lunch. And then like that was kind of the day. Like there was like no, like you have to clean for this long, or like it's this highway all day or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Like whoever was running this thing was a pretty loose ship. And I, as a crew captain, I wasn't the taskmaster at all.
Dude, I mean, I remember when I had to do community service, it was kind of like the same thing, except for they told you, like the other people, they're like, don't go on, or like, they're like, go on Tuesdays. You want to go on Tuesdays. And I was like, why? They're like, because that's the day Beth isn't there and you don't want to be in Beth's van. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, apparently there's one lady in the Delaware County, community service or whatever, that apparently I think she had like someone close to her die in a drunk driving accident. So if you're doing community service or whatever, she is yelling at you like in your face, like, pick this up. You're going to get another day. You're fucked. You know what I mean? Like if you don't work harder, you're getting another day. You know what I mean? Like another, like, and I was like, what is this? So
and these people are like, I didn't kill your partner. Like it wasn't me. I
didn't do it.
Like,
yeah. And I was just like, fine, I'm going, I got the times I went, I kind of got lucky because each guy was like you, where he was like, look, we're going to go to Chester. We're going to get there before everybody wakes up because you don't want to be there when they wake up. Right. He's like, as soon as, if anyone wakes up, we are leaving. Right. So we go there. It's just like, we go to like the projects or whatever in Chester and it's just trash. Right. And like, we just pick up a bunch of trash and they're like, all right, let's go. And then we get back in, like we, throw our stuff away, get back in the van. We go by this river, hang out there. And then we go get lunch. And then we go in this park. And like, this one dude that wouldn't shut up the whole fucking time is telling us about how he was in jail and all this stuff. And we just talked and everyone smoked cigarettes at this park and hung out. And that was the day.
Well, like
that was
one
one
of these
day,
times,
but,
it's like, I'm the crew captain, and then like I can't make any decisions, and we're on this highway, and this one guy like rolls, like this car comes like a screeching stop, and I like look, and he's like, get in the car, there's a bear walking down the highway. So I'm like yelling at these like 12-year-olds, like get in the car, like God forbid somebody gets eaten by a bear. These poor kids are
we lost one today.
And it's probably the only
And
it's probably like the only time we were like actually like, really cleaning up the garbage, So I'm like, all right, for the rest of the week, like, we're keeping it local here. Like, we can't be on these back roads here, somebody's going to go down,
I wonder if it's the same thing for you. If you get, where I was at, if you gave blood, they knocked off 8 hours of your community service. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice to know.
Yeah.
Next time I did mine at a zoo.
Oh, what? The Norristown Zoo?
Yeah. The Elmwood Park Zoo.
Yeah.
Where they keep Eagly. Not Eagly, but the Eagle's eagle.
Yeah.
And the Temple Owl.
Oh, I didn't know
that. I got pinched doing my community service. I had to work so many hours at a church brunch
Okay.
It was like a part. It was like I got like a speeding ticket or something like that, and I like fought it, and I was able to like plead down to that. So I would wake up on Sundays and go, but I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my mom. And on like one of my last days, she went to church on Sunday and came in, and she's like, "What are you doing here? Volunteering, working this like church brunch?"
Yeah. Trying to play it off like you.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I just like really am into the church now." And she's like, we're gonna talk when we get home. Like, this stinks.
Yeah. She's like, I smell the shit you're stepping in there.
Yeah. I know you. You're not just volunteering at a church breakfast at like 9:00 in the morning on Sunday.
Nice. So let's keep it moving then. All right. So you did that, right? You had the whole thing with the bear. Then you would head to Temple, right?
Yes.
Let's go, Owls. Hoot hoot.
Hoot to unit.
Hoot to unit. So you were down at Temple. Justin, you were down at Temple at the same time, right?
Yeah, I went to Temple.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't attend any classes, but I like lived there for a while.
Yeah, sure.
We used to eat cereal on the stoop outside the freshman dorm, the houses thing.
Nice.
Cereal on the stoop was one of my favorite events.
Dude,
Everyone did it?
out there.
No, me, my buddies, the people who lived next door, and like everybody would be walking to school, and you'd sit out there, eat your cereal, and watch everybody walk to school.
Yeah.
And you'd say hi.
You say hi to the ladies, your boy walks by. What's up, dog? You owe me $25 from last night. You eating your Cocoa Puffs. It's a fun thing. Cereal outside's, it's a party.
Yeah.
Good, great people watching. I mean, just take it in. North Philadelphia
North
in the
Broad?
morning. Yeah.
Oh,
such a collection.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
You get
North Broad.
Everybody.
It's like this show. You get every flavor.
Yeah.
Dude. I did a bike ride one time from my house in Mayfair to the art museum, right? And round trip, I don't want to say because I'm gonna come off bragging, but I went through Hunting Park to get to, and dude, I left at like 4:30 in the morning and went through Hunting Park to get to the art museum. I went all the way down Broad from Hunting Park to Fairmount. Right. And I took Spring Garden all the way over. Right. And then Spring Garden to the art museum. And I'll tell you, it was still dark out when I was going on North Broad and shit was weird. Fucking North Broad at like 4:35 in the morning, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. Then you drive by like, the Tentville or whatever by the North Broad train stop. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, man. Definitely some people watching, definitely some characters. Definitely shouldn't have gone through Hunting Park at that time. I'll tell you that.
Note to self. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But let's keep it going. So you were at college. Did you ever go to any sporting events while attending Temple U? Shout out.
My roommate Nick Gill and I got the.
Do you mean the Big Thrill Nick Gill, the Sword of the Morning, fan of the show, former guest of the show?
The very same.
Justin, big fan of the Sword of the Morning.
Fan of the show.
So yeah, the Big Thrill Nick Gill and I got the package where you could go see every basketball game, and we didn't miss one. We went to like every Temple home basketball game for our career at Temple. It was awesome. However, our sophomore year, we lived by Oxford Village. So we would go to the game, and then at halftime, we would run home, pregame more, and then run back into the Leah Core Center because we were like a block away. It was awesome. We would just make friends with like the security guards, and then just it was like literally we lived caddy corner to the Leah Chorus. So that's what we would do.
Yeah, my buddy lived in Oxford Village. That was the name of the place. I forgot about that.
Wow.
That is it.
Yeah.
A small world.
Did you ever see any big games?
We did. Yeah. We stormed the court when they beat Tennessee one year, but we did in fact see JJ Redick at Duke break the scoring record, and that was tough.
I was at that game.
Where
Small
you really,
world,
JJ, right?
Yeah. Me and my buddy were there, yeah.
And here's the thing too, is like T-Unit's playing good D. I think he didn't need many points to break it, and they started bailing him out.
I think it was
at
like
the end of the game
16 points or 13 points, something like that. It wasn't very many. And everyone had those face cutouts of JJ.
That was tough to stomach. That was very tough to stomach. But But he wasn't close to it.
He's got a show called The Old Man and the Three. It's a pretty good show.
It's pretty good. I wasn't a big Duke fan, so we were rooting against him pretty hard. But they gave it to him on some foul shots. But I will say, I would be remiss to say I was in attendance with Bern and Jeff, who are diehard Villanova fans, and my father at the time, who was a diehard Villanova fan, me being the black sheep like in Temple. And we got to see a buzzer beater by Juan Fernandez. We got to see Temple hit a buzzer beater against Villanova, and it was, I'll never let Bern and Jeff live it down.
Wow.
Yeah. They won. They beat
just
them
talk about their 3 national titles.
Right. Yeah.
Juan Hernandez.
Okay.
Not that night.
Yeah.
Not that night.
Bern hated Fernandez's game, and Fernandez went off for like 42 or something. It was like the most infuriating game that I've ever got to watch them watch.
It didn't. I mean, as long as you weren't at St. Joe's, though, would your dad have lost his shit if you went to St. Joe's?
In our father's obituary, we decided to put a line that just said, "The Hawk is dead."
Love it.
And the guy writing the obituary, I remember, got really weird. And he's like, we normally don't write the word dead.
We normally don't let a man's last statement talk shit on someone else, but we'll make an exception.
Well, I just put it in. It's all right. You would have liked it. Yeah.
He's like, I went to LaSalle, actually. We're like, well, then definitely fuck off. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, we could agree in the Big Five, but no, the Hawk is. I'll say it on the record. I'm sorry for any listeners, fans of the show.
It's been a long time.
I mean,
not since Delonte.
I mean, the world knows my feelings about Delonte West. I'm a massive fan of what he's accomplished.
Yeah,
he's a wild man.
On and off the court. Massive fan of what he's accomplished, and I've dedicated several things in his honor, and I've spoken about them on the show. So let's keep it going. I don't want to say it because I feel like your mom's probably going to listen to this show, Mike, and I want her to like me. So. Chris Corona's parents like me, and we were kind of clean on his show, but he's a nice guy. So what are you going to do? So, all right. So let's keep it moving. So while you were at Temple, you were a college counselor at an academic resource center at Temple University for 2 years.
Yeah.
What's the scam that they were working, and why'd you get fired?
So my goal was, I was undecided. So my job was to help other undecided kids pick their classes. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it was interesting to see, like, they would have these classes and the prereq would not be the semester before you were going to take it. So, like, let's say these kids, like, they had to take like Bio 101, and then the next class they would take Bio 102. So like they'd come into me and they'd be like, hey, I took Bio 101. I want to take Bio 102. And you'd be like, it's not offered this semester or whatever. So you got to, like, it was actually really hard to make these like class schedules for these kids who are undecided, to give them the best shot to like major in something and almost finish in 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like, it was kind of like, you know, because there was all these classes that I know that Temple did, but I know other universities do it, where it's like just specific for the university.
Right.
They make you take it. But like, yeah, you kind of see that like sometimes like it would only be offered in like the summer and the fall. But if you needed it in the spring, you couldn't take it. So then you had to take like another kind of, you know, throwaway class or whatever like that. And I was undecided too. So I was like, I was just there. I was doing the same thing that these people were doing.
Yeah.
So that was like my job, to kind of like help them take classes that would give them the best shot of like finishing somewhat on time or declaring a major or something like that. Right. But I wasn't good at it, and I did in fact get fired.
So how did the firing go?
Well, it was in the summer mostly, and as a young college kid, my alarm kept going out. There was many power outages that I just, unfortunately, my alarm just didn't go off that morning, and I might have shown up.
Can't be held accountable for bad, wiring.
Not your fault. Tasker Ave electricity is terrible.
So it wasn't due to me staying up too late and having too much fun. No, it was these power outages, these roaming power outages were really getting me. So the lady who I worked with, I don't think she was the head. She was like mid-level, but she brings me into the office one day and she's just like, hey, Mike, these tardies and these lates are really adding up. And we're going to have to let you go. Unless you could really tell me, like, look me in the eye and promise me and really, sell me that you're going to change and you're going to be much better. And in that moment, I don't know what came over me. And I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm going to be much better. And I honestly, okay. And then she kind of was like, well, we don't have to let you go. And in that moment, I realized I don't think that she had the power to actually fire me. And I think she needed me. I think she was just trying to like put the fear of God in me. And I was just like, nah, I have rent for like next week or next month. So like school starts again, I'll be fine. So I was just like, so I just was like, no. She was like, well, you know, you should come back to it. And I was like, no, you fired me. I'm done. Like I want, you know, hey, it didn't work out here. I'm done. And then like, I remember her having to go into like her boss's office down the hall. And I could tell that probably didn't go well. And then I was out. And then the worst part about it was I did in fact have to use this service for like the next
year. So she was giving you the stink eye every time you came in?
Yeah. When I came in, I would have to see her and stuff. And I had some co-workers who also didn't, you know, so then I also had to like use their services. So for like my remaining time at Temple, it was always weird when it was time for me to pick class.
Yeah.
She was just trying to threaten you. And then you're like, no, you know what? You're right. I don't want to work here.
Was it a he or a she?
It was a lady. Yeah.
Oh,
she's got to walk into the bus.
She's
like, look, I fired. She's like, you can't fire people. He's like, well, I just wanted to tell him that like you can't be late anymore. And it turns out he's gonna be late more.
Yeah. She's like, I took this class on how to manage people, and you told them to scare people. It was a scare tactic. I tried it, and it didn't scare him, and he left.
She was like,
and now we have no one to work.
Sell me on
today.
Yourself.
And you're like, go eat a dick, bitch.
You
know. No, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Was this at the beginning of the shift or the end of the shift?
Early in the morning. Yeah. We had a lot to do that day.
So you were just like, well, I'm fired and I'm leaving now.
Yeah. Well, it happened on a day that I was in fact late too. So like
but how much does it matter if you're late to the college counselor gig? Did it matter at all?
That's what I thought. I mean, I don't think so, but no.
It ruffled a couple feathers.
I'm going to stick with absolutely not. Yeah.
So, okay. So you're doing the college thing and you're working all this stuff. I want to get through this. You were a grout bathroom tile installer for like a year. And then you're also you did 2 years as a animal wrangler at TU. So what was the bathroom grout installer and what was the deal with the animal wrangler? Talk to me.
All right. So one summer I needed a job to stay in Philly, and I found on Craigslist the only thing that would hire me was to install grout. And it said like no experience necessary whatsoever. So I was like, all right, like the guy, I think they're paying like $10 an hour or whatever. So I was like, all right, perfect. Like I could do this all summer. I can make some money. I can like pay my rent and stuff like that. And I should be fine. I don't have to like move back home.
Yeah.
So this guy, like he tells me to take the subway to Albany, and he picks me up. This guy's running his own private business. I get picked up at Albany by this guy. He only listened to Bob Marley the entire time I knew him for the entire summer. Bob Marley exclusively.
Got great taste.
Yeah.
No woman, no cry.
Which is like good the first time you hear it, but like,
when you're listening to Buffalo Soldier,
like 11 times a day, it starts to lose meaning a bit.
Oh yeah. He's like, bro, you feeling this music, bro? Yeah, Marley, man. No, I'm with you. I had a couple fucking clown jobs that tried to play that shit. So okay.
So this guy picks me up at Albany, and I get in this car with this other guy. His name's John. I forget the name of the boss. And I'm like, we're driving to our first job. And the guy's like, hey, have you ever done this? No, I've never done this at all. I literally have no idea what we're about to do. I had to like look up what the word grout was on the way here. Like, all right. So this guy takes us into this bathroom. We stop at this like nice house. All these houses were like nice houses on like the main line and like outside of Philly or like the burbs. So we go to this house and it's his first bathroom. The guy's all right. So here's what you do. You get a little grout tool. You clean out the grout in between the tiles in the bathroom. Once all the grout's gone, you're going to like take the new grout. You mix it like this with the water. You spread it on with this machine or this little tool. You wait like, a little bit, the grout kind of like it hardens, but not too hard. And then you wipe it away and you're good. We're like, all right, this guy showed us 45 minutes and that's it. And then left. Then he leaves. So it's me and this guy John in here, and we're like looking at this bathroom. I'm like, dude. The guy's like, oh, I'm gonna do another job. You guys are gonna do this job. I'll pick you up at like noon.
Yeah.
It's like 8 a.m. We're like, all right. Well, we had no idea what we were doing. We unfortunately destroyed this woman's bathroom. So we take all the grout out, right? And then we didn't realize how quickly the grout dried. So we like painted on the grout on this person's like shower,
covered it,
all the way
thinking
down.
you could just wipe off.
And then would go to the next thing. And we did like the 4 things. And when we went back to the first thing, it was dried solid, dude. We had no idea what to do. And we're like, this guy comes back at noon and freaks out. Now the person wasn't there, but he's like, you fucking destroyed this lady's bathroom.
Because if it's not watery enough, it's literally concrete now, a base layer of concrete over all her tile inside the bathroom.
The whole tile wall. Destroyed this lady. And we're looking at each other and we're like, dude, you left. We had no idea. This guy showed you. We're like, you showed us for a half an hour.
This is what you showed me.
Yeah.
I showed you what you showed me.
Yeah. I guess we probably should have cleaned it off quicker in a retrospect.
In hindsight.
But sure. That's what hindsight's for. So this guy freaks out. He's like, we get out of the house. He's like, we got to leave right now. He's like, I make my like living on like people word of mouth. He's like, I'm gonna have to come back and explain what happened. And we're like, all right. So we get in the car and he's driving us back to Albany. And he's like,
to like drop you off. You're done.
That's it. And I'm thinking like, all right, well, we're fine. Like, fair enough. I'm gonna have to go back on Craigslist and look this whole thing up again because clearly this didn't work out. And he's like, all right, I'll pick you up tomorrow. We're like, fuck it, fair enough. So me and this John guy, the next time this guy like actually like stayed and worked with us, so we got a little bit better at it. But we trashed that first
Day one was a loss.
Yeah, immediate. Yeah. So I don't know if I don't know if he just went back and like I never knew what happened. He like would never talk about it again.
He's like, we lost one today, guys.
He told the lady he never showed up, and she's like, wait, what? And he's like, we couldn't make it. And they're like, no, somebody did something to my belly. He was like, it wasn't my company. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you have some homeless men try to caulk you around?
Yeah. Somebody broke in and went nuts with this grout. It was crazy. Yeah.
It's the grout bandit.
So
other time we had to I just remember we had to like hand paint grout on the floor for this entire first floor. And this lady came home from vacation after 2 weeks and was like, nah, it's a bit too light. Do it again. And just left. And we were there for like another 2 weeks and did it. It was like I was going to lose my mind. It was like one of the most tedious jobs. So then I followed that up with, I worked in a neuroscience lab because I was in school for neuroscience and I'm thinking this is going to be cool. We're going to be doing like state of the art stuff. And I get in there and they're like, hey, your job is to wrangle these mice for the entire time. So
they're like wild mice or they're like a lab mice that have escaped.
Yeah. So they're the mice that they're going to do the experiments on. But these people wanted somebody else, stupid enough, me, to go in there and get them used to being handled by like humans. Cause like they apparently when they don't know what they're getting picked up by when they're young, they freak out and like bite you and scratch you and all that kind of fun stuff. So that was my job. My job was to get them used to being picked up. So then the professionals, when they picked them up and put them in the lab,
didn't have
get
to
bit or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're basically domesticating mice.
Yes. Yeah.
They've taken a random person off the street for a highly sophisticated study, like domesticate these mice to handle hands.
Yeah. So that was my job. I'd like go sit Indian style and just like hold mice in my hand. And
what would they do to the mice? Do you know, like was it like cosmetic testing, like to see if it would irritate skin, or was it like they're putting chemicals in them to see if they get like superpowers?
It was crazy. This neuro lab, they were working in Alzheimer's research. So they would breed these mice specifically to either lack this like protein, this like it was called beta amyloid, or have more of it. So they're like two different mice.
Yeah.
It's like the researcher was thinking like either this buildup causes Alzheimer's or the total lack of it you'd be able to like remember stuff better. So they would have these two sets of mice and then they would run this thing. It was called like the Morris water maze, where they drop these mice into this water thing and they would swim to like a platform and they would time them. And then they would do all these like other mazes. But then the craziest thing was at the end, they would put the mice in this little like clear gas chamber and kill them, and then they would have a mouse guillotine, and that was also one of my jobs.
Why would they gas them and then guillotine them?
So the idea was they would then kill the mice, guillotine them in this like little, it was like this like little adorable like plastic like guillotine.
The
It was
cute
like,
little mouse
yeah, it was like,
guillotine.
it was like the one in Paris, but like just like really small and like cute. Yeah.
Was there I picture a mouse in an executioner's hood that
and like a
stands
little
there,
basket underneath.
pulls the lever, the little French emperor.
Yeah.
But so why the beheading after the gassing?
What they would do is then they would do that, and they would like dissect the brains, because the area
To
that they
see
were
how
looking at, they would like study
how
like
the protein
millimeter
affected.
slices of like the cerebellum on these mountains.
Jesus
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Christ.
So they would do all this like high science cool stuff, but I was
Yeah.
never a part of that. I was just like the grunt in the lab.
You were with you and the mouse executioner just
Yeah.
hung out.
But also like I would get like not emotionally attached to these mice, but I'd spend a lot of time with them, and then I gotta be the one
Yeah.
to guillotine them.
Did you name them?
Psychological torture.
Did you ever name the mice?
You can't name.
I mean,
That's
listen,
the only rule.
if you don't think I sang,
Did you
some
free a couple?
Feifel songs in there, you're out of your mind.
Did you? There wasn't
Maybe
one
you
you.
were the study. Did you ever think of that? Maybe the whole time they were just studying you.
Dude, I'm
They're
almost
like,
gonna
what do we do with
spit
this
take.
moron that's fucking singing to the mice here? You know?
How many mice you think we
Yeah.
could get this guy to kill?
Yeah.
Did you ever like really like one and like let him escape?
No, I never let
Not
them
you,
out.
buddy.
But honestly, by the end of it, though, they would be like, cool. So you could fit like 8 or 9 in your hand, because after a while, they got like
They're
real
used to it.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's dude. I almost did a spit take when you said that. Yeah, maybe it was a social psychologist.
Yeah,
Maybe that was
I don't
me.
So, all right. Let's keep it moving. You were a waiter for a little bit.
Are you going to address the sunglasses, or we're just going to keep rolling with that?
Okay. So
Your eyeballs hurt?
Due to my many years of boxing, I have the post-concussion syndrome gimmick. And I was at the office today, and the lights are very bright at the office.
Have you tried those blue tint? I think they're called blue tinted lenses for like those.
I've ordered some.
Yeah,
So,
my girl,
yeah.
same thing. Yeah, no, as a member of the migraine as well from probably CTE, all credit due to you. Rock glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, do they look great? I'm trying to pull off
Look
like
great.
my
That's what
Tony
I thought you were
Montana,
trying to
you know?
intimidate us
Little
by your handsome.
crazy
Yeah.
Romo.
I was feeling the intimidation factor with them. I was like,
Hey, well, I'm glad you like them. So, very nice. My wife tells me she thinks they're women's glasses, and I told her you're a woman, and she's like, I am. So, all right. So let's keep it moving then. You did some little waiter job at a, stupid thing, and then you were a door-to-door salesman. How the shit did that go?
Dude, bottom barrel. I was like, I need rent. I need rent now. The when I was working at a restaurant, the place like closed down.
Oof.
And towards the end, it wasn't making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I was like, I don't know. Like I need to make rent next month. So let's see here. So again, you go to Craigslist, and I found.
You're still in the Philly area doing this door to door?
Yeah, no. So I'm outside.
You're back in 40 foot, or you're just
home base is New Jersey. So I'm living in Philly. Home base is some industrial park in New Jersey where you get there in head to toe, like, full suit attire, blazer, the whole nine. Like you're dressed to the nine. At like 7 a.m, I would have to get to New Jersey.
Oh, fuck on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we'd get there, and this guy would like run, like he called it like the business school, but it was not business school. It was like this guy making up these ridiculous things and just calling them like a theory. Like there was like the gumball theory to sales. He had like a fishnet theory to sales. And like, I'm talking like he would draw a picture of a gumball machine and be like, the gumballs are your potential sale. And your quarters are the 7 pillars of this, whatever company this is called, like stick-to-itiveness and chatting it up, or like, all these like, made up, like, selling euphemisms or whatever. And like, so
Did you for 1 second ever buy into their bullshit?
Not for one. The only thing
Yeah.
that kept me in the door was I knew that if I worked like a full like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it was, you got an automatic payout, and that was enough for me to make rent. So
yeah,
I
you're on
just
a
knew,
mission.
like I couldn't get fired. But
Yeah.
So
what
you
we-
were legit living on fucking lima beans for 3
Oh,
weeks.
dude, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
water and ramen noodles, yeah, big time. Yeah, I had to make rent, and I was like, if I could just make rent this month, maybe next month I could hit the Powerball or find a new
Yeah.
job or something. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
So
I've
I would
never
drive
looked
every-
thinner in my life than when I was working at this place. Yeah.
In this
Oof.
like suit or whatever. So this guy would do like the normal, his selling, his 8 theories of selling or whatever it was for that day, and then we would just get in some guy's car. And this guy would just drive us to strip malls and just kick us out. And our job was to sell like these like flyers or vouchers of all these like different things. Not door to like your household, but just to people who are out shopping in like regular places. So I would just constantly get thrown out of places because there's no solicitation. Like
Yeah.
can't go into like a Target and bug people about buying something that Target doesn't sell.
Yeah.
You like want these like to sit up by the counter at like small businesses, and people can pick them up and purchase them as like a coupon kind of thing, or like
yeah. Like it would be like
I remember that.
Like
diners and
like Sixers tickets or like paintball specials or like a booze cruise on like a yacht or something like that. But
ATV rental. Yeah,
totally. But like we would just have to like find these people who were shopping for something else and like bug them. And
did you ever sell any?
Not one, not a single one. No. I remember one day getting thrown out of a department store and just begging the guy. I'm like, I promise, I won't say a word. It's pouring outside. These guys are coming to pick me up in like 2 hours. I will just sit in this like McDonald's, and I swear to God, I won't say a word to
leave everyone
anybody.
alone.
Just don't throw me out, please. Like just begging with these people. And I did my like 2 or 3 weeks, and I didn't make a sale. So the guy was like, oh, here's your payout. And then he was like, but I could pay you in human money, or I could send you home with some of these sweet vouchers. I was like, dude, just like give me the human money, please. And then
don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah. Then I called, no showed them. And it was like, it was the only time I've ever did that in my work career. And it was the best. Like a day later or whatever, my older brother and his girlfriend at the time had like at another waiting job. We're like,
now
hey,
wife.
we might need a waiter. So I was like, dude, please. So I made my rent or whatever, but nothing was more satisfying. Like 2 years later, I was living on Fairmount, and I saw these poor guys walking Fairmount trying to sell their stuff. And I was just like, what do you guys do? I was just like shouting across the street at them and stuff, because they were like, I don't know, they're probably good people, but they were like not cool to me. And I just wanted to get in and get out. But they're like, they kept telling me to like read like Lee Iacocca's book and stuff like that. Like they were all in on this thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I couldn't do it.
You're like, literally none of you know, like you all know this is never ever going to work. This is
like,
all
that like the some of the parts in Wolf of Wall Street with like Lee Ogo and Nuts, all these people who worked for there thought that they were like, that was what was going on there.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did that. That was the worst job I think I ever had, hands down.
Oof. Oof. Sounds like it. Okay. So then you were a waiter at a bar that I know well. We'll talk about it some other time. But then after that, you have a psych degree, so you could be a preschool teacher. Is that what's going on?
Yes, that was. Yeah, I worked as a preschool teacher out in Collegeville, and it was like, so that was the only thing that like I didn't have a master's degree in psych. I just had my undergrad.
Okay.
So that worked there. So yeah, I was a preschool teacher. There was like 17 boys in the class, 3 girls. Anytime I got in trouble, we would just have a bubble dance party. We just go to their mat and put on a bubble, and I like create like a mini rave. And I'll tell you what, no problems during bubble dance party. Everybody knew the rules. Everybody partied. And there was never any issues during bubble dance party. I highly recommend it to anybody. It was great.
Bro, my daughter, we go to this place. It's called Romp and Roll. I'll shout them out. But we go there, and they do a bubble dance party, and legit, if you ever want to see like 10 kids blow, like just lose
Right?
Lose their
fucking
minds.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
bro, they put on, Happy People or whatever the fuck the song is, and the bubbles start coming out, and you would think it's raining cocaine down. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
This bubble dance party.
Yeah.
It is the gimmick. Everybody's in. So, okay, and you're there, and like, what ages were you teaching at pre-K
I was
or
doing
preschool?
I was doing mostly like pre-K. I would go into the kindergarten room for like lunches and stuff like that, or I would do like the pre-K, I guess it would be called. I would like go in there, but mostly pre-K was my jam. Yeah.
Okay. So then, all right, and then let's keep it moving. So after you did the pre-K and you liked it there, like it was, or like, so these were like 2 and 3 years old, right? And you must have been the only man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man, I think that's the best age. I was, Mr. Mike was the only guy.
It's the 3 to 4 is the, like, especially little boys, because they can wrestle and stuff. It's the best age. Yeah. Like my godson and my buddy has another kid, and they're just so like they can put together shitty sentences, so they're fun to talk to.
Yeah.
And you can throw them around because they're still rubbery.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have feelings yet.
Oh. Yeah. My daughter's at that age now. Go ahead, Mike.
I just think it's like interesting. Like when I was in like kindergarten, you could tell that they would be like worried about like their peer group. Like they were like worried if they would like look cool doing stuff. But the year before that in pre-K,
could give a shit.
Zero fucks. Zero.
Yeah.
They don't care what anybody else thinks of them. You're just like, as a human, I feel like you just are who you are, and that's it. There's like no outside anything. It's hilarious. They were awesome. But the gig didn't pay great, so I had to call it.
Yeah, I hear you. So, okay. So then after that, that's when you kind of started down the path you're at now. So you went to become an X-ray tech, and you were the head of the class, or what is it called? President of the class of this class?
I was president.
Surprise.
I was the homecoming queen at my X-ray tech.
Yeah. But you were also in the class with he was supposed to be the co-host tonight. I guess our older brothers just don't like showing up, Mike. What do you say?
Shout out to older brothers.
Shout out fans
of the real middle child show.
Legit.
My older brothers didn't come either. I mean, they weren't invited, but they're not here either.
This is the middle child episode. That is for damn sure.
The forgotten children.
Forgotten children episode. The middle child, never loved. But either way, but you were there with Tom's wife, was in your X-ray class, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
I remember you were living on Fairmount, right? And we had gone to the prison, like the haunted, like when they do the haunted house at the prison
at Fairmount.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's awesome. But I remember we took
penitentiary. I can't think of the name.
Eastern State Penitentiary.
Eastern State. There you go.
Yeah. The Eastern Penitentiary, the haunted penitentiary. And we went there with we had like a whole bus full of people, but people were like drinking beforehand. And then they went to the penitentiary and there's no bathrooms and so many people had to piss. And I was with my brother's now wife, and she had to like go to the bathroom, and she was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I was like, look, my buddies live around the corner. We'll just go knock on their door and see if anyone's there. And we went and knocked, right? And as soon as there was like, yo, Mike. And then right away you're like, and she was like, Mike, oh my God, what are you doing here? And he's like, I live here. And she was like, oh my God, I need to go to the bathroom. And then he's like, go ahead. Boom. And then, and then that was that. And then didn't you end up going to the haunted,
we all had like a moment where it's like, wait, you know him? I was like, I know him. You know him?
Yeah,
I did. I went with you guys. Yeah, we all went. Yeah, I was just like, I'll come with you. Why not?
So, hilarious.
We had no idea. We knew Lavelle together. Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember the girl I was dating at the time. I had taken her there. I don't know if you remember what she looked like. She was like this 4'11" Italian girl, like really short.
I do remember
really
she was
small.
Very short. Yes. Yeah.
And she would end up getting thrown out of the thing because she hit one of the performers.
The actors.
Right?
Yeah.
But she barely hit him. The dude was being a bitch. And like even security was like, bro, Like, really? And he's like, yeah, she's gone. You don't touch me. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking ass. Like, you know what
It's
I
like
mean?
natural reaction.
Yeah, but I was
So you
kind
can
of
get scared, like you throw your hands out.
That's exactly what she did. She's like, ah. And I was
Yeah,
like, bro, she's 4'11", and she was like 100 pounds soaking wet. Dude, I remember she would have like leggings, and I remember I held up the leggings one time. I was like, these are legit the size of a toddler's. Like, this is crazy. But you know, but either way, it says a lot about me. But no, I'm kidding. But she but she got thrown out, and it was like, oh my god, it was the worst. But it was
Also,
still,
if you're an actor too, like, how do you not take that as a compliment?
yeah,
Like,
you
you're
scared
doing
the
a good
shit
job
out
in
of
the
her.
role, you know?
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. You got a good reaction. You
As
can't
a-
throw that girl out.
As a
Yeah.
kid, I got fooled by they would do the chainsaw without the chain on it, but they would have the
Oh.
motor run and stuff.
Yeah,
And I didn't
yeah.
know that. I was on the hayride. I was the
Yeah.
last one, and I was sitting like with my legs hanging over the back, being cool. I was like, I don't know, 11, 12. And he touched my leg with the chainsaw. And I didn't know that, like, I don't know what
Right.
chainsaws. I was so scared I kicked him, like,
Yeah.
and like he took it fine and stuff. But I
I'm sure
really
you're
like,
not the 100th kid to do that.
yeah, I like kicked him and then like touched my leg to be like, did you just
Yeah.
cut my
Is
leg
that
off?
it?
Like,
Is that
You're
it?
like,
I was so scared, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, for
My
sure.
brother was like, "There's no chain on it." I was like, "I don't know how chainsaws work."
Yeah.
Oh, you a fucking
Oh,
chainsaw
yeah.
professional
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are you
I
fucking?
Like, he touched me with it. Like, I was so scared.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah.
That's a huge risk.
You're like,
Just
freaking
assume.
hurt, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like
okay.
touching my jeans.
So then you spent 4 years for X-ray tech, right? How long was the school for X-ray tech?
It was like 2 years, like 24-month program. Yeah.
Okay, so you did a 2-year program, right? You did 2
Yeah.
years.
Is it a
And then
radiologist?
years.
What's the technical name for that?
Like a radiology technician.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's surprising you don't know that. But so then you did X-ray tech, but then you would move on to MRI tech, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew the only thing I knew was working in that neuro lab is that after
Yeah.
they did the mice stuff and everything like that, that's how they would study everything. So like there would always be these like really cool in-depth MRI image. So I kind of always was like, hey, that was pretty cool. Maybe I could do that.
Yeah. Nice.
Did
Okay.
you ever you ever see how an MRI? I mean, obviously you probably do. How the MRI machine works, like how fast that thing spins and stuff.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
nuts.
The physics
I
behind
just
the
saw
whole
it the
thing
other
is
day.
insane.
It was
Yeah.
on like a Reddit, and they like showed like what it would look like if you took that front casing off and how it spins around super fast. And obviously you can't have metal in there. And
How
Oh,
fast
no.
does it spin?
I mean, it didn't tell me the speed, but like I didn't know it spun.
mean,
I thought
don't
it
even
was
know
like,
how many I guess
it whips around inside that tunnel.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably like 1,000 rotations or something. You know,
Yeah, I have
like-
no idea. I didn't know that. And then like the MRI compared to the X-ray is like 1,000 times better.
Really?
As far as like X-ray just gets like your bones and like a flash, like whatever
Yeah.
it can pull back from the camera, where the MRI is so much more in depth,
Wow.
and layer by layer.
Can you
Yeah.
read the MRI stuff too, Mike? Like, can you read what's on them?
So like that's kind of our jobs. Is not like we can't give a diagnosis to a patient. So like if a patient's like, did you see anything? Like we're not like
Legally, you're not allowed to say anything,
not
right?
legally we're not, because we're not trained radiologists, but like
Yeah.
our job is also to notice pathology and stuff that looks correct and incorrect.
Yeah.
So like if something looks incorrect, we could like cone in on it or like make sure we cover that for the radiologist and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the physics between like X-ray and MRI is insane. Like X-ray, you're shooting electrons, the speed of light through people, and then whatever doesn't get picked up on the receptors, like the bone image. But then MRI is like you're dealing with magnetism, so you're spinning hydrogen protons because they're like polar. So like
what the fuck?
X-ray is like you're shooting electrons, and then MRI is like you're manipulating the hydrogen in water and fat, and then
What the fuck?
like the physics is like the best thing my
Mike, did
MRI
you just become a supervillain? What the fuck is going on here?
Well, that's because the MRI can do like layer by layer. Like you can
Yeah.
see like skin issues to muscle issues to bone issues. Like it's
Damn.
it picks it up because like the idea is that like so it messes with your hydrogen proton. So there's hydrogen in fat, and there's water's H2O. But like the best thing my physics teacher ever said to us in our MRI program was like, listen, I'm going to explain this to you. you're not gonna. You have to take like a leap of faith, like an Indiana Jones step out onto the thing. We're like, none of this is going to make sense to you for like the next 6 months, because like the theoretical physics who like taught this are like the smartest people on the planet at the time. You know what I mean? Like, so like you just kind of have to trust this. And then after the program, it made sense. But like that first week, you're like, what are we doing? What does this machine do? No, it doesn't. Like, prove it. And they're like, well, we could, hydrogen proton spin this way. And you're like, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. You told me, bub.
Are you sure this isn't
right.
real voodoo? Do we pray to this machine to make it work?
First off, who's the alien here? Okay. And second off, did this come from the planet Zolpam?
Just so you know, the lowest ranking member of this class will be sacrificed to the MRI so that it will operate for the next year.
Yeah.
Where do you think all those mice went?
We have to appease it. So,
It takes 3 dead mice to run this MRI.
It takes 19 guillotine mice.
Little known fact.
Yeah. So, okay. So then now you went through all the school, right? Now you're a certified MRI tech. So
certified.
What is the day in the life like for the master of the middle children, the middle child madman, the middleman extraordinaire, Mike, the middle kid Podcasy? What is a day in the life like for MRI Mike Middle Podcasy? Go ahead.
So my schedule was pretty sweet. Working at a hospital, you could work some pretty fun schedules. So I actually was able to nail down 3 12s. So I'm rolling in at like 7 in the morning, and I'm done at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. So
how is a 12? How is a 12 there? Is it like a tough shift?
It's tough, but you get used to it, honestly. And then the next day you're off. So that's the real deal.
Do they give you the free 4 hours so you hit 40 hours? That's how I had a warehouse job that would do that. It would give you 3 12s, and then which is 36, and then they would give you a free 4 hours, so you had a 40-hour check.
No, they gave us, it was like, my full time is like 36, and then if I had to work overtime, I would have to work 4 hours to get the OT.
Yeah, because time and a half doesn't kick in until 40 hours. Yeah.
So I'm rolling in there at 7 o'clock, first patient 7:15, 7:30. And it would depend where I worked. Like, a lot of MRIs, you have to put an IV in because they use something called contrast. So you have to inject that. So like sometimes you're in the IV room, you're putting IVs in until the IV nurse gets in there. So you're in there for like 2 hours. But if not, you're on a scanner. And your first patient rolls in at like 7:15, you go get them. And then you just kind of read the prescription, what the doctor writes. Then you kind of cross-reference that with what the radiologist wants. And then
wait. The prescription isn't just like put them in the machine and run it. Like what
you want to like focus somewhere.
Oh, really?
Brain,
like
knee,
zoom in.
Body. Yeah.
So like you put them in like, all right, we're zooming in on this. Oh, wow.
We have sometimes like we have like it's unfortunate, but like sometimes like you have to fight. Unfortunately, like somebody comes in there like, I have a foot MRI, and it's like, no, you have an ankle MRI. Like you gotta call your insurance company and stuff like that, because it's like it's weird because you think every prescription's the same, but like since it's prescription, the doctor looks at it and like it would be like going to the pharmacy, being like, hey, this pharmacist wrote that I need B12, but I need vitamin D, and it's like, you think the body part's like, oh, well, what, they ordered a foot, but I need an ankle, but like, it has to be like that. So you read the prescription, and then with our radiology, they have special stuff. So like, if you come in and somebody's like, hey, you need a brain MRI, that's what the doctor would write. And they would write, your prescribing doctor would write that, and they would give a diagnosis of what they think's going on. Then our radiologist would be like, well, hey, we have this one tailored for that, what we think we need the pictures to like do that. So like, there's a difference between people who come in who have headaches, or then the people who come in who have hearing loss, or people who come in and have like eye problems. You know what I mean? Like we'll like cone in on the optic nerve and stuff like that. Or like we'll look at the IOCs if they can't hear. So yeah, it gets real specific. So your anatomy is like, if you're an MRI tech, you have some really good anatomy because you know what you have to look at. Like you got to know what, like, I have to angle this so the radiologist could see this the best. Like, yeah.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah.
What's the difference between an MRI and a CAT? What's it?
So the MRI is like that. It works with the hydrogen protons. A CAT scan is like a 360-degree X-ray. So you're still shooting electrons and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just like an X-ray machine that moves around you to give you that 3D look. So like,
okay, go ahead.
Like CAT scan's better at looking at some stuff than MRI. Like MRI is amazing for like soft tissue. Like if you tear your ACL, that's going to be tough to see on a CAT scan. But on MRI, it's like, you it's right there for you.
CAT scans, they do that. What's that? They inject you with like a certain liquid and it shows up better. So like if they're doing
so a lot of CAT scans you got to drink like oral contrast.
That's if you're doing like a GI tract test, you drink this liquid that like shows up better on the test.
The barium in our X-ray school, they made us drink it so we would have sympathy for our patients, because it's just like chalk. It's like grinding up like a few pieces of chalk and drinking it. It's like it's
that bad.
Back in the day, I think they made them better now, but like back in the day, it was just like legit. It was like not, I think they have flavors now and stuff. So they try to make it better for the patient, but they made us try it as students to be like, listen, like these people have to drink like 3 of these. So like give them a little sympathy when they come in. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Damn. Well, okay. So what would you say? So you legit love your job now, right?
Yeah, I do. It's tough because it's like, sometimes it's tough. You run into stuff where not a lot of departments in the hospital bring in revenue, but MRI does. So they want that thing moving and grooving because that
they all every time it spins, it's cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Yeah.
So
it's not easy to get an MRI. Like get your insurance to pay for an MRI unless you absolutely need it. That thing's not cheap.
Yeah. So they don't want a lot of open table time. So like they want you to work quickly and, you spend some quality time with the patient, but they want you to keep it moving
barber
along.
chair. Yeah. Let's get as many scans in a day as we can.
Exactly. So
does the machine ever like overheat? Do you have to like take breaks, or is it just like it can go?
So the craziest thing is that the magnetic field, once they ramp it up, it's on forever. It's like it never turns off. So
really?
The machine itself is technically always on. So like that's why like these poor janitors in the 80s would go in the middle of the night and then like their
broom,
everything would get sucked into the MRI machine. Yeah. So they like the physics is crazy behind it. So they ramp it up and then they pump in all this like liquid hydrogen to cool it down because the electronics in it goes forever. So it has to cool down any resistance in the wire.
Okay.
So the magnetic field is on indefinitely. So the machine's like always on, but like the software and stuff crap out every now and again. So you have to like reboot the system, or we have these great engineers who come in all the time to make sure it's running up. But like, sometimes like you'd feel bad, but you'd walk out to the waiting room and you're like, hey, everybody, one of the machines just went down and like, we're going to be behind today. And like, it's just kind of like one of those things, like anything we build, it can break. And it usually, it does.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but like, just like we can't use that machine that day.
I wonder what, like, I know, like, so my father-in-law works for this company called Termac, right? So if you have a restaurant, right, you have an industrial sized dishwasher. And usually when you buy that dishwasher, you buy like for the insurance, you get like a repair, like a equipment breakdown and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there has to be an equipment breakdown for the MRI machine, but whose job is it to repair and fix broken MRI machines? Like that's like gotta be such a niche type of, that's crazy to think. Like, so because when you call, you're like, all right, well, you got to call Barry because he's the fuck, like, you're the insurance that covers the MRI machine has equipment breakdown, and there's a guy specially trained to fix it. That's fucking crazy. That's a job. That's nuts.
And and our guy who does it,
what's his name?
Actually one of the, Rob is his name. He's awesome, great guy. Shout out to Rob.
Shout out Rob. Fan show, listen show.
He actually, a lot of the people were tech. They weren't like a lot of the people, like you have to be an MRI tech yourself for like 5 years.
Oh,
and then if you're like more on the technical side, then you like go in and like learn how to dissect the machine and stuff like that. So a lot of these people doing it were clinical techs or like research techs. and then just kind of fell in love with the machinery.
Yeah.
And then they go into that route. Yeah.
Would you say they were drawn to it?
Beautiful.
They're really sucked in.
Yeah, they felt a real connection. So, okay, we're coming to the top of time, though. I do want to ask, before we get out of here, what is your favorite thing about being an MRI technologist?
I think it's just cool where like you are, because like jdub.
Do you love seeing when someone has cancer and they're like, hey, what do you see? And you're like, oh, the doctor's gonna have to tell you. And then their doctor comes in like, it's cancer, bub. Sorry. You know, like, that's a great day or what?
No, that's not a great day. I actually worked in the radiation oncology department, and I gotta tell you, the people who are diagnosed, who are coming in, are like the nicest people. Like they know that you're there to help them and stuff like that. So they're like super grateful and stuff like that. But like jdub said, it's like these people are they got to take off work. Trying to get approved for an MRI takes forever. Like a lot of our medical system makes you go get an x-ray first or physical therapy. A lot of this stuff where that if you just did an MRI right in the beginning, you'd know.
Yeah, that's the thing. To qualify to get an MRI, you have to get an x-ray first. And I've had to get an x-ray before where the doctor goes, this is going to show me nothing. And once I'm done I'm going to write you a script and then go get an MRI.
But you
know
have
it's not
to
your
do
bone.
the x-ray first?
You have to get an x-ray first. He's like, your knee is messed up and it's not the bone. And this is going to do nothing.
Right.
And you have to come back. And because I was getting the MRI at the same place. He's like, I'm going to do this. It means nothing. And then you have to come back in a week and I'll give you an MRI.
Right.
I'm like, sick. I'll walk around.
It's like
medicine.
The health insurance. Yeah. So they want to do the cheap stuff first. And then if all else fails, you get the MRI.
Yeah.
Even though the MRI up front would show it everything. So like my favorite part of that would be like, you know, they had to take a day off of work. They took forever to get this thing. Then like it's tough to book and all stuff like that. And then they finally get to you. And like if you get really good pictures, maybe then they could get this diagnosis that they've been waiting for, like, you know, like maybe their meniscus was torn for the last like month and they're trying their best, but like you could actually give some kind of observable proof that like that's it.
And that insurance needs to cover it too.
And then like, then you could actually start getting answers for these people. And then like I said, like you got to know how to do these different angles and what the radiologist like in different spots and stuff like that. So like once you get good, you know that you're getting really high quality imaging for the radiologist to make like the right diagnosis.
Nice.
So that always felt good. Like, you know, it's everyday people just showing up and like everybody gets sick. So like you're dealing with everybody, but you know, it's a pain in the ass to get to the hospital. It's a pain in the ass to do this.
Yeah.
So you might as well get some good stuff.
Still, man, you're helping people, you know, like that's got to be a great feeling that you get to help people every day. And like, you really get to help people. Like if you can find something too, like, has there been times where it's like they were looking for one thing, but you found this other thing and caught it early and were able to get like, that has to have happened, you know?
They always say it's like in medicine, it's all about timing. Like, you know, if you find this growth 4 months later, not good. If you find this thing 4 months before, maybe it's not big enough to see or whatever that. But like a lot of the findings are like accidental. But like that's the cool thing about MRI is that like we don't diagnose anything, but we can see what's going on. So like I'll be like, hey, I'm going to open this up because that looks a little weird. And I want to make sure I get that for the radiologist just in case. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So like you kind of decide what you want to cover, but you have to stay within the parameters of like the prescription, but like you could kind of fudge it a little bit to make sure you get some stuff if you see anything funky.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll tell you this, Mike, this fucking was such a blast, dude. And I know me and Justin were usually on the same page with this, but we would love to have you back on the show as a guest if you
would be an honor. I had a blast too, man. I love this. This is a great podcast, man. I love listening to it. And then
thank you.
To be on it is fun as hell, man. Honestly.
Nah, dude, this is one of the, honestly, Justin, I know for you and for me, this is one of the best parts. Like Justin just met you, Mike, but I'm sure he had a great time getting to know you. And like, I've known you for a while and this was just great catching up and chatting. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's just a good fucking time. You know, and we all look great and we have great backgrounds and we're so happy that our older siblings couldn't be, you know,
that's perfect. Middle class podcast all the way.
I don't want to see Bernd crawling back for part 2 of this.
Wait,
he sees how good it was. He's like, let me eat.
Before I go, I'd like to say one thing though, because I don't think he's ever brought this up on the show. Now, I know you gave me a list of my favorite movies when I was 10 or now.
Yes.
It's good to know because I think he's a little embarrassed by it, but he doesn't bring it up often. Burns' favorite movie of all time is Summer Catch, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. Now, I don't know why he wants to talk
Jessica Biel?
With Jessica Biel and Brian Denton. He also a young Wilder Valderrama.
And Johnny C. McGinley.
Correct. That entire cast. Byrne is such a nut about Summer Catch. I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up on the show.
Well, he's going to be on the pop-in tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
please,
Justin, please help me remember this.
Do you know who that movie's based off of?
Who?
Good old Randy Wolf.
Really?
He's reportedly
Wolf Pack himself?
The motivation for that storyline.
For that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Struggling, through the summer camp and then getting to the
Cod,
bigs.
the Cape Cod League, and Freddie Prinze, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Apparently supposed to be about Randy.
Randy Wolf would never leave a fucking game, right? To go bang some hua when the Phillies were looking at him. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Randy Wolf, the Wolf Pack, Randy fucking Wolf.
He's gonna leave.
No, dude, I'll tell you this too. His gimmick, the Wolf Pack, started all of that when it was the Wolf Pack, Tony's homies, Howard's hooligans, Chase's chicks, dude, like all of the gangs.
Dude, if we're talking alliteration, I think you started that. You got Creekside Kids, the Bad Boys on the Block. I mean, alliteration. You
did just listen to the Alan Block episode.
Dude, the Burrow Boys, come on.
Yeah.
These are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we did. It was the Bad Boys on the Block, the Bulldogs, the Creekside Kids, the Burrow Boys, and then the Confederation of Forestry Park Natives, which is what we are to this day. Yeah.
Right.
Loud and proud. Confederation of Forestry Park Natives. Say it loud, say it proud. Land of free, home of the brave. So, all right. Well, we're coming to the top of time, right? I'll tell you, man, this has been just such a fucking blast, dude. You're a great man. You're a great dude. And love talking with you. Love seeing you. Also, this has been brought up, Mike, and I'll say this on the show now because I talked to someone else about it, but they're not here to talk about it. Maybe I did talk to you about it and then talk to them about it, but I talked to someone about it, about doing a Game of Thrones roundtable, right? Because oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't watch it until a few years ago, and the Red Wedding didn't get spoiled for me.
Oh,
I watched it like 10 years after it came out, and I didn't know that's how they killed Rob, and I was like fucked up for like.
When they
I text my boy when they put his dog on his head. And I was walking around I thought the Red Wedding was the shitty kid Joffrey getting poisoned.
Yeah.
Like when like it happened, like in real life, I was like, oh, that's the Red Wedding, whatever. Like I didn't watch the show. And
that's Purple Wedding. But.
Like when the pandemic started is when I watched it. I was home. I didn't have to go to work, and I started the show. And I saw Rob die like that, and I was like, that's how they do my man, yo.
Yeah.
Well, Vern and Jeff read it when I was they were like reading all the books when I was in X-ray school. So like, I don't have the exact knowledge, but I was a huge fan of the television show. It's outstanding.
And you've heard our discussions about it a lot.
Yeah. I actually have to give Jeff back Baratheon shot glass that he left. We were like cleaning out. We were moving, and I found it. I was like, for a set. Yeah, we got it.
So, all right. So I think we got the ideal cast then, because this is what happened. We had I had booked someone for July 19th. They were also a possible female voice of the Working Perspectives podcast weekend pop-in. They were on for one episode. They talked to Steve Cabot, and they have not come back.
Is it related to me?
They are. And
she's not gonna be a guest either. I'll talk to her.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't. Don't, because I want to switch that date out, because if she can be a guest, but it's going to be in September. She is funny, but she called no show, so I figured she didn't want to be on the Tuesday show either. Well, I'm gonna probably move her. If she still wants to be on the show, I'm gonna move her to September, and I'm gonna open up her recording date July 19th. Right. And then the air date for the first episode of the new Game of Thrones show is August 21st, I believe. So we can record July 19th. And then by the process of elimination, that will come out the Tuesday before
Perfect.
The new show. So that's what I'm thinking. So I guess you guys will both be there because what I wanted, and this is actually perfect because I've read the books, Burns read the books, and Pulaski's read the books, but you two are both show watchers.
Correct.
So I wanted to have the perspective of people that read the books, but also just seen the show. I'd like to
Mickey,
have both.
Former guest of the show, Mickey Batts has read the books and has a Hand of the King tattoo on his chest.
Wow.
You
Right,
can
like
read?
in that spot.
Yeah, right in the spot.
That man writes. But yeah, he so that's another guy.
Check out, we'll shout
that boy
him out.
loves it.
Check out his episode on the honeydew.
Yeah,
right?
the Honeydews Patreon has a honeydew for you. They just interview Sickler interviews random people, and yeah, he interviewed our boy
well,
Mickey Batts.
He stole that idea from me, I would say. Catch up, baby. But okay, that's awesome, man. Good for him. But yeah, no, we'll definitely, yeah,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
What's that show?
podcast.
What's the new show coming out called?
House of
Targaryen?
Dragons?
House of Dragons.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's based off of Fire and Blood. It's I mean, I can tell you,
Like a long time ago. Yeah.
So it's what Jar Jar Martin did, and this is actually genius, is that he put himself in a hole with the A Song of Ice and Fire saga because the show caught up to the books.
Yeah.
Right. So what he did this time is that it's a 300-year history. The Targaryen dynasty ruled over Westeros for 300 years, right? So he did his first book chronicles the first 150 years of the Targaryen dynasty, but it doesn't go into crazy depth of the real characters like it did with, this A Song of Ice and Fire saga. It's really kind of like a history book of like, this happened here, this was this, and then kind of goes through it. So he wrote the first book is the first 150 years. And the best thing is that like there's several civil wars in House Targaryen and all the motherfuckers have dragons. It's not like just 3. It's a lot. And one of them is Valerian the Black Dread. Also, he conquers all of Westeros. Well, not all of it. He never conquered Dorne, but it's a whole thing. You get to see the stacks. You get to see the birth of House Baratheon, which was not a house prior to.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was House Dundon. Fuck. There's still still the same sigil and still the same words. God, I'm gonna kill myself. House Dundon maybe was the house at Storm's End. But either way, and the Tyrells, birth of both the Baratheon dynasty or the Baratheon house and House Tyrell, because before it was House Tyrell, it was House Gardner, but their whole line was extinguished when, then I know way too much of this stuff. It's okay. I could legit give lessons on Game of Thrones. I'm that fucking upset.
Look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So July 19th, we'll probably record that. But I mean, I don't know. We might have to cut this whole me saying this from the show. But we
just did it. So, if you want to hear it again, show up July 19th now.
Yeah. So, okay. So very good. Well, before we get out of here, Mike, thank you so much for being here, man. Is there anything you'd like to say to your adoring fan base before we take off?
No, just thank you so much. This was an absolute blast. I love this podcast, and I had a great time. I've been moving the last 2 days, so this is a really nice thing to just chill. Not have to worry about what's in a basement or an attic. So I had a blast. I had an absolute blast.
No, dude, it was great having you on. Always great seeing you. You're a great dude. Me and you, we've always been, always clicked, bro. I'm telling you, the Northeastern PA guys, and
we just get it.
We all get it. This guy fucking gets it.
Simpatico. He's an Oxford Village native. I like this
dude.
guy.
Jdub, there's got to be a point at some point where
you guys cross
over
paths.
Walking past. Yeah, and you're
saw
eating
him
cereal,
and I'm walking past. Yeah, there's 100% that happened. Yeah, definitely.
Very nice. Well, speaking of Jalen Dub, you have anything you want to say to your adoring fans?
When all else fails, when you don't know what to do, when you think you're lost and you are out of options, bubble dance party.
Hey,
bubble dance party.
Bubble dance.
All
party.
ages, all groups.
It'll never let you down. I'll tell you that right now. It is
people,
Yeah, it wins. It absolutely wins.
Double
So
dance party for the people.
yeah,
Hey guys, remember when I forgot the national anthem?
you forgot the Pledge of Allegiance.
A Pledge of Allegiance, yeah.
It's all right.
guys,
Nobody
remember-
remembers to the republic
Remember
for
I
which it
got like
stands.
4 words through that? That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, God bless.
It was
America.
tough. The reason I
Thank
came
you
up with
for
that
that.
question, the same thing.
Awesome.
I was like, do I still know it
Yeah.
all? It took
Yeah.
me a couple shots to remember it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You would have
Yeah,
gotten it
thank you for that.
eventually. Hey, no, of course, no, thank you.
for that.
Thanks.
That's
No,
cool.
thank America.
Yeah,
all right.
I agree.
Thank you,
Thank
America.
liberty and justice for all.
Amen,
all.
brother. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, the amen version.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So
I was an amener.
Yeah. Once an amen or always an amen. You know what I'm saying?
Doing
So-
the Lord's work.
Damn right. So, all right. Well, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson, and our special guest was the one and only Mike Podcasy. We were not accompanied by Bernard Benoit Podcasy and Captain Jerkbeard Tom Lavelle. It was just me, jdub, and Mike, the way we wanted it. It's the Middle Child podcast. Really good stuff. But you can, in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you this great content. All right, well, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening, and stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.